opposite directions. Pine Bluff is going through a rebuilding phase. Jackson State is trying to win its third consecutive title. Let's take a look at the standings now and see where these two teams stack up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you look at the East, it's a big day for Jackson State. They need some help from Florida A&M, a loss really, because if Florida A&M gets a win and Alabama A&M loses, Florida A&M will lock up the East.
Yeah, and an entirely different story over in the West. Prairie View, Alcorn State, and Southern all at 3-1. We could go down to the final week in the season right there. And of course, as for our game today, it's going to be a wet one, but also Jackson State will be without a couple of key players. Irv Mulligan and Rico Powers are unable to go today.
Yeah, that's a lot of firepower for them. Those guys are electric, make big plays, so they'll have to figure out a way for someone else to step up.
And where are they going to go? They're going to go to their big quarterback, who's making his second start of the year for Jackson State. That would be Jacobian Morgan. He's number 15, and he's a load, running and passing.
Yeah, he's a big guy out there. He certainly likes to get things done. 248 yards total on the season, 141 yards passing last week, and 175 yards rushing, 107 overall. The guy is dangerous with his feet, so we'll see how electric he is and how he puts that together. He threw to 9 different receivers last week.
On the other side, for Arkansas Pine Bluff, we have Chancellor Edwards. This young man, making his second start of the year, has passed for 3 touchdowns over his last 2 starts.
Yeah, and he's going to need some help. He needs some guys to step up, and the big key for him today is when he gets an opportunity, he's got to connect. He's got to be on target. You can't let opportunities go today. We'll see where he is today.
That is Jackson State's head coach, T.C. Taylor. He's in his first season as head coach of the Tigers. Of course, he actually played at Jackson State, former quarterback and wide receiver for the Tigers. So he's in his first year and doing quite a job trying to win that championship again for the 3rd consecutive year. And on the other side, Mr. Positive Vibes. I mean, this guy was fantastic to talk to today, this week on the Zoom call. And we're talking about head coach Alonzo Hampton. That is not Alonzo, by the way. But he's down there on the sideline, so we'll see Alonzo in just a minute. But Alonzo Hampton, in his first year, he's a former assistant head coach at Louisiana Monroe under Trey Bowden, and did quite a job over there. He's a defensive specialist, also played in the NFL. You know, had a cup of coffee with the Seahawks and the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, well, that guy right there on the sidelines, he was positive anyway. So
yeah, he was very positive. Well, SWAC football is underway at Simmons Bank Field, and the kickoff goes out of the end zone, so Jackson State will get the first possession of the game. They will start 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line, and that means we will get a first look at Jacobian Morgan, number 15. We talked a little bit about him on the open, but this young man is something special indeed. He was battling Jason Brown for the quarterbacking starting job earlier this year when they came out of camp, but he injured his finger, had surgery on his finger, so Brown took over as the starter. But as you can see, Jacobian Morgan comes in 6'4", 227 pounds, and he can run the football. We'll get back with more on Jacobian in just a second as the Tigers start 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line. Morgan on a pitch. It goes to Desmond Moultrie around the right side, and a good recovery by that Arkansas Pine Bluff defense. Pickup of about 3 yards, maybe 4 on the carry as the Tigers race to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good tackling there. They stretched it out. Nice.
So this time, Morgan goes upstairs, completes his pass near the sideline. There's a lot of room out there. He's still going down the sidelines, and can one man to catch him, and he won't do it. It's going to be a touchdown for Jackson State. That's the big tight end, DJ Stevens, who made the catch and run and took it to the house, and it did not take the Tigers from Jackson State long to get on the scoreboard.
Wow, you talk about lightning strikes. At the beginning, we said who would have the firepower to help him out. Well, that is firepower. Look at Stevens. And again, they were blitzing off the corner and the edge, and he did a great job of going up. The pressure's coming here. That means I got an open hole there, threw it to Stevens, and he went the rest of the way.
Morgan got him the ball quickly, and DJ Stevens did the rest. The extra point attempt is good, and just like that, we're barely 30 seconds into this ball game, and Jackson State has jumped out in front to a 7-0 lead. He dumped it off to his big tight end, DJ Stevens. Stevens, an All-American who comes in at 6'4", 235, but he also showed he could run as he hightailed it down the sideline.
Yeah, at first, you know, I didn't think he was going to be able to go all the way. I thought the defenders would be able to push him out of bounds right there, but he just stayed on it and just put the hammer down and just went flying down the sidelines for the big run there. Great job. And again, what I thought was special there was Morgan saw the pressure come from the corner and the end, and so he knew there'd be a hole there, turned to Stevens, delivered it really quick.
Unofficially, it's a 72-yard touchdown on the pass play from Jacobian Morgan to his big tight end, DJ Stevens.
That is quick strike capabilities right there. I think I have it here as 70 yards officially now.
Officially
Butch.
70 yards. What a way to start the game for the Tigers from Jackson State with an explosive play, and they find themselves out in front 7-0. So now the Tigers will kick it back to the Golden Lions. Kickoff is fielded inside the 5, and on the return, and he's going to be spun down at about the 27-yard line. So they will have good field position, and just like that, wow, that last drive, a 70-yard completion. Let's take a look now at our impact players, brought to you today by GM for Jackson State, Desmond Moultrie and Antonio Doyle, and then we'll see for Pine Bluff, Jonas Davis and Rico Dozier.
Yeah, Dozier's a tackle machine, 85 tackles, 1 sack. Jonas Davis, has got to do something big for the offense here and have that 4.9 yards a carry today. He's going to help his quarterback and team.
Chancellor Edwards at quarterback for Arkansas Pine Bluff. He's going to open the game with a pass, and it shoots it, and it's going to be an incomplete pass to make it 2nd and 10. He was trying to hit his big tight end, Tristan Ballard, with that pass. But while we have a second, let's check out the keys to the game for Arkansas Pine Bluff, what they need to do to make it work today.
Well, forced turnovers on defense, they've got to make that happen and contain Morgan's running ability on the defensive side as well. But big play is a must for them. They have to have big strikes to help their offense. It's going to be hard for them to maintain long drives. They got to have the big strike capability. Someone's got to step up.
That was Davis with a nice gain on the carry right there. Of course, our keys to the game brought to you by GM as we pick up Arkansas Pine Bluff in the black and gold uniforms right there. Jackson State in the all-white with the blue helmets.
And another big part of that, Butch, is this offense has got to stay on the field and not just go 1-3 and out. They can't afford 3 and outs today.
So the pass again from Edwards goes through the hands of number 18 over there. That is Christian Cochran, and it's going to be a little wet. That's a perfect example of it right there. He hit him right in his hands, but that football gets pretty heavy under these type of conditions.
Yeah, and it's been raining for a while for them, so they certainly have to make sure you assure the catch is the biggest thing for them.
So Pine Bluff coming up with the ball now. Edwards to pass, fires it inside, and again, a football that got all the way into the chest, and it ends up being an incomplete pass. He was trying to hit Tristan Ballard with that one right there.
Yeah, Guthrie with the defense right there, a perfect timed hit. As soon as that ball got to the receiver, he was right in his back dislodging that ball. Good defense, great coverage.
So Arkansas Pine Bluff now with the football have a key down coming up here. Scoreboard says it's 3rd and 10. Edwards has 3 receivers to his left. He looks the other way, rolls to his right, still looking downfield, fires, he completes the pass. It's going to be caught right near midfield by Damon Dawkins with his first reception of the game, but one of the Tigers is injured on the play, and he looks like he's holding his hand.
Yeah, it's Guthrie right there. It looks like he landed weird on his right hand. Yeah, right there you can see him. As soon as he hits the ground right there, he is just turning. So somehow his hand got twisted when he hit the ground. That's tough right there. Again, he just made a big defensive play a moment ago, and then he gets hurt. So I can't really see him through this crowd. But,
yeah, they're taking a good look at him over on the sideline. And that's another thing when you talk about these slippery conditions, you know, Sometimes they're conducive to injuries you would not normally have. And you can see he's still down on the ground there.
Bush, did you like playing in the rain?
I did. Personally, I did. And the reason why I did, because you never got tired. Usually if it was raining, it was pretty cool out there. And it didn't bother me at all. I know some people it did.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly super fast, so I actually enjoyed it. Slowed some fast people down. They couldn't cut as good.
Kevrick Wiggins is the injured player down there. And you can see they're still attending to him near the sideline. And one of the keys coming into this game, we're going to have a 4th and 2 whenever we get back to the regular action. It'll be 4th and 2 for the Golden Lions from Arkansas Pine Bluff. But one of the things they had to do in this ball game was to hang on to the football. Golden Lions have fumbled 9 times, losing 8 so far this year. And as head coach Alonzo Hampton told us, we've just been killing ourselves.
Yeah, and no matter who you are, you can't kill yourself. You can't give the ball away, and they sure can't do that. Sure.
Okay, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. Notes was 7-0, Jackson State out in front. Welcome back, everyone. While we were away, Kevrick Wiggins from Jackson State was actually carted off the field. And of course, we wish him the best and hope that it is not a serious injury at all. But he was taken off by cart. So now 4th down and 2 yards to go for the first down for the Golden Lions with Chancellor Edwards at quarterback. And you can see both teams looking to the sideline trying to figure out that last scoring drive, by the way, by Jackson State. Only 2 plays, 75 yards, took them 31 seconds. So here we go. 4th and 2 for the Golden Lions from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Edwards to pass. It comes inside, and that's going to be caught and a first down by Damon Dawkins. And so talking to Coach Alonzo Hampton, he says if they're going to do anything offensively today, Damon Dawkins will have to have a big game.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a great catch because he was getting hit as that ball came in. I didn't think there was any way he could hang on to it, and he sure did. He weighs just $170, and to get hit like that, he hung on to the ball. Great job for his team making plays.
So the Golden Lions picked up a first down on 4th down. Edwards to throw again. This time he's going to run with it. Comes upfield, ball is out. That's another fumble, and it's recovered by number 22, Antonio Doyle Jr., who comes away with the first big play of the ball game. And we talked about the fumbles. We said Pine Bluff had to hang on to the football, and that's a perfect example.
Yeah, and again, it goes where you're just trying to make too much happen. And right here, he gets hit. Look at that hit right up underneath him. He gets raised in the air. And again, that ball just comes flying out. And Coach talked about this week, you got to keep the ball high and tight on your body. You can't have that ball hanging out a little bit. Watch here and watch the hit. Right there, comes underneath him, flips him over the top. What a great shot that was.
So the first turnover of the game goes to Jackson State.
Isaac Peppers, what a hit.
And Jacoby and Morgan and company are back on offense. Morgan will throw it, completes his pass, and it's going to be a nice gain to Fabian McCray, who's also a big play receiver for the Tigers. Makes a nice catch there.
And right now, Tigers on all cylinders.
So Morgan, 6'4", 230, hands off to Moultrie, and Moultrie showing that power drive in his legs as he picked up a couple inside before he's knocked down there by a couple of Pine Bluff defenders.
And the Golden Lions are going to have to do exactly what they did right there. It's got to be team tackling. Team tackling, they got to put, the whole saying 11 hats on the ball. Everyone's got to get there and help out.
Second and short now for the Tigers. Morgan looking downfield, has to spin away from the pressure, and they got him, and he is sacked in the backfield. Big number 55, Isaiah Ward, one of the defensive leaders, tackled Jacoby and Morgan in the backfield. First sack of the game for Arkansas Pine Bluff, and that is something Coach Alonzo Hampton just raved about, was his defensive front and the job they did inside, and they come away with a big sack.
Ward just kept working. He would not be denied.
So -5 on the sack, and they come back to the run, and again, the Golden Lions are there to stuff it. Good defensive reaction there by the Golden Lions. Marcus Askew, one of the Lions in there on the stop, number 22 right there. So they do have some defensive players that can play and make some big plays.
Yeah, they talked about their linebackers. They've got some guys that run to the ball and are very active, and they said that's part of their weak game for Jackson State, catching that second level of linebacker, see how they improve on that today.
Third and long now for the Tigers, who lead this ball game 7-0. Jacoby and Morgan started his second game at quarterback. He's the transfer from Syracuse, and he's going to throw it. Morgan with some time, lots of time, airs it deep, and he's too high. He had a receiver that was open. That was Duke Miller, and he just went too high, just right over his head, and it goes off of Duke's fingertips.
Yeah, and you can't miss a play, right? You can't miss the open play like that. That goes to the keys to the game. You got to start with intensity. The Tigers have certainly done that. Ball security so far, they've hung on to the ball. And then Morgan has to hit the play that is there. And right there was one of them. He didn't hit. When you've got a guy there, you got to be accurate enough and throw. And he stood in the pocket really strong, just didn't connect.
He didn't hit that one. Keys to the game brought to you by GM. Those were the keys for Jackson State. As Matt Knoll gets the punt away. And it's going to hit and bounce. And it's going to bounce through the end zone. So there's a whistle blowing down there. There's a little pushing and shoving, but no harm, no foul. We have a 7-0 game with 10:08 to go. We're going to pause for a timeout. We'll be right back at Simmons Bank Field.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
SWAC football on ESPN is presented by Pepsi, official partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and by GM, proud sponsor of the SWAC. That last punt by Jackson State's Matt Knoll was good from 53 yards, so it goes out of the end zone. So Arkansas Pine Bluff will start 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. Of course, their offensive coordinator, Bobby Acosta, likes to script the first 12 plays to start the game. They've run 7 so far, so they're probably still on that script. 1st and 10, here come the Golden Lions, and not much room inside.
You know, scripts always help teams focus, and you'll see a lot. Why don't they script more? People say, well, you got to make adjustments because defense start making adjustments, etc. But the good thing about scripting plays is it gives your team a vision, and offensively, when you know where you're going and you walk through it, you can visualize the start of a game, and usually that accelerates a good start.
Yeah, that was an interesting conversation when he was telling us how he likes to script the plays and how he likes to call the game. So here we go, 2nd and 8 now, and again, good reaction by that Jackson State defense. Big number 99, Jeremiah Williams, is there on the stop.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Tigers defense has been solid all year long, and they're getting better, right? I mean, they're growing. They're not getting stagnant. They're getting more and more explosive. And again, that's where Jackson State says, okay, you know, that's how we're supposed to be, getting better and better and better.
Yeah, you talked about last week. 12 tackles for loss for Jackson State. Here's a big 3rd and 6 coming up now for the Golden Lions. 12 tackles for loss last week, 3 interceptions, and 8 sacks by the Tigers. I mean, that's an impressive defensive outing. So Arkansas Pine Bluff on 3rd down. Edwards to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete inside, so they could not pick up the 1st down this time. Good coverage by the Tigers, and the Golden Lions will have to punt the football away.
Watch this, as a receiver, he's got to get some separation. He's covered like a shirt, really. Quite frankly, he wasn't open. He didn't give it, and he didn't throw it to the outside where he was a little free to be able to get it to him. So
Isaac Peppers was all over him, man, the big linebacker for Jackson State. But it looked like Edwards expected him to continue on his route, and Peppers wouldn't let him.
No.
So he had nowhere to go. So in to put the football away is Jeremy Baker. Gets it away, low kick, end over end, going to bounce. Seven McGee chooses to let it bounce. It's a good move there, and it's going to fall the rest right about the 35-yard line is where Jackson State will go back on the offensive end. So Jackson State will take over the football when we come back. 7-0 Tigers out front.
Bringing in a new roommate to save money, is that the plan?
Say hi to Glenn from work.
Yeah, I think I have a much better plan. We switched to my plan from Verizon.
That is a good plan. Glenn?
Get my plan starting at just $25 when you bring your own phones. Plus, save when you add perks like the Disney Bundle. It's your Verizon.
Billy, I need help with the clicker.
Yeah, one second, Grandma. This guy's gonna buy my car. Billy, you still there? Okay,
You need Carvana. What's your plate number?
Boss, M-O-V.
Vehicle features, no accidents, right?
No.
Good. Generating offer. Carvana can pick it up tomorrow.
That's an amazing offer. Do you still need help with the clicker?
I'll ask your sister.
Sell your car the easy way with Carvana.
Introducing No Glue Lashes, Impress Press-On Falsies, a total lash game changer. Thanks to our breakthrough self-stick technology, simply press on a cluster under your natural lash for a seamless look and a secure 24-hour hold. Just one easy step. Press on and go. Now, everyone can lash. Get yours today at ImpressFalsies.com.
Here sits the McDonald's hash brown, the side that makes every breakfast sandwich better. Let's all be more like the hash brown.
Your favorite breakfast deal is now tastier with the sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Mix and match 2 for $4.79.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
There is a lot that goes into becoming a licensed therapist.
I completed 4 years of undergraduate, 2 years of graduate school, followed by 2 years of clinical training.
You literally have to do 3,000 hours plus of one-on-one, face-to-face interactions with clients.
I chose social work. I wanted to help people in times of need.
BetterHelp has been a game changer across the board. If I just change one person, and that's what wakes me up every morning.
Welcome back, everyone. As you see, number 15 there, that is Jacobian Morgan. He's the quarterback for the Jackson State Tigers. And they're getting set to rock and roll on offense. Put 7 McGee in motion, so you have 3 receivers to the left. Comes back to McCray. McCray makes the catch, still on his feet as he slips the tackle, and McCray will be pushed out of bounds just short of midfield.
Yeah, with Rico Powers out, McCray, you're going to see is going to be a guy they go to try to make something really big happen. And again, puts it right in front of him so he can explode and make some play. Great job making that first tackler miss.
And that's another thing that Arkansas Pine Bluff has had problems with, is making the tackle. As you see, Ahmad Miller going in motion there for the Tigers. Morgan goes back the other way with the screen. And it's going to be a nice pickup again for about 8 yards. So the Tigers on first down are doing a great job of moving the sticks and picking up the yardage. That was 19, Kobe Paul, who made that catch.
2 major things on those wide receiver screens. You've got to have willing blockers for your wide receivers.
It's a 7 McGee this time. McGee steps out of bounds after picking up 4. So you can see the Tigers picking up the tempo, and they're having no problems throwing the ball despite the wet conditions out on the field.
Yeah, and again, those are good, safe plays. And again, you got receivers that are willing blockers. And what the good job is, he's putting the ball right out in front of those receivers. So once they catch it, they can turn and look, and they know what's coming and how to make their moves.
You know, there's an interesting story about Jacobian Morgan. He was a transfer from Syracuse, but he grew up in the area. TC recruited him as a young man, and here he is. He's going to pass the football. Now he has to run with it, and he's caught from behind and sacked. A big play by number 27. That is Kyle Knox. He was helping out on the play, and that's going to be a loss for Jackson State.
I'll tell you what, Knox got there just at the right time. Watch this. Knox doesn't give up on the play, but he was just getting ready to accelerate right when he was able to grab those hips and take him down.
Kyle Knox coming on the blitz, and as you said, he did not give up, came from behind and dropped Morgan. That'll make it 2nd and 15 for the Tigers. Morgan will throw it again. Passing underneath, and it's a completed pass to his other big tight end. That's Hayden Hagler that time with the catch, number 14.
Tigers very deliberate.
So now they have a 3rd and 8 coming up for the Jackson State Tigers. Three wideouts to the right. Morgan again under pressure, has to deliver it, and it's right on the money. He has his man, and it's a big first down. As his receiver goes down to the 10, that is McCray on the catch and run. Fabian McCray, who has a touchdown on the year.
Well, McCray's going to step up big today, and look, just right on the money. You said it perfectly, Butch. I mean, you couldn't have thrown a better ball, and again, McCray is able to catch it, just turn right up the field.
1st and goal situation now for the Tigers, and this is where Morgan excels, still on his feet as he takes it down to the 5. So a big gain right there, 5 yards by Jacobian Morgan. He came into this ball game with 4 touchdowns rushing. Has 1 TD passing and 4 rushing, so obviously he started to get him back into action with working him in goal line packages. So he had been coming in for the Tigers when they were near the goal line, running the football and keeping it and doing a good job getting it into the end zone. So here we go. 2nd and goal with 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. Tigers put a man in motion. Turn, and they give it to Ahmad Miller, and Miller's going to be caught at about the 4, maybe the 3-yard line and pushed back, but he stopped cold right there.
Again, good job by the Golden Lions. I mean, they just right at the point of attack and just did not let down. They have a player down right now.
And the officials are pointing to the sidelines and signaling that they do need help out on the field right now.
He hasn't moved much. He's just sitting up. Can't see the number, Butch, but hopefully the trainers will get out there and they can attend to him and take care of him. This actually gives the Tigers a good time to be able to figure out and strategize exactly what they want to do on this play.
They will strategize on the sidelines, but you can bet it's going to go down to number 15 hanging on to the football here. That would be my guess. We will see how that works out. And now we have the injured player coming off the field. There's number 36, Daryl Holston for the Golden Lions, and that's a good sign anytime you see somebody running off like that. Daryl Holston, the 6'2", 200-pounder. And it looks like he will be back. And so Jacoby and Morgan and company have a 3rd and goal to go with the ball resting just inside the 4-yard line. Big down for Jackson State. They lead it 7-0 in the ball game. Morgan passes, hits his man, it's Hagler, and he's in for the touchdown for Jackson State. Jacoby and Morgan to Hayden Hagler, and another 6 points on the board for the Tigers.
What a
Hagler, who's that big tight end, who's 6'4", 250. He's a transfer from Marshall.
Watch him, he rides it and just lofts it over. Again, when he sees pressure coming at him, he knows the guy heading into that area has room, and he just lofts it right over the defender. Just watch it right here. He sees pressure, just go over the top of him. Got a receiver right there.
I don't know about you, but every time I see Hagler, I think about the Celebration Bowl last year when he dropped the pass from Shedeur Sanders. So to see that young man come back and do anything great, it's just, he took it so hard. And you could see Deion Sanders, who was the Jackson State coach at the time, consoling him on the sideline, consoling him in the locker room. And to see him bounce back this year and just to play well and contribute to what's going on with the Tigers is really a big thing.
No, you are right. You are right. That was a huge, huge drop. And again, you know, how you react in failures is the mark of someone's character. And you can see his character is just fine in the way he plays for his team.
So Dylan Wasson coming out to kick it off for the Tigers. Let's take a look at the scoring drive. 9 plays. It covered 65 yards, and it took the Tigers 3 minutes and 40 seconds before that 4-yard TD pass from Jacoby and Morgan to Hayden Hagler, who actually hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, made the catch, took it in 4 yards for the touchdown. So Wasson with the kick. And the Golden Lions will take it at the 4. Got some running room this time, and he's going to be knocked down at about the 26-yard line. So a nice return by Donald Johnson right there for the Golden Lions. And they will go back on offense. So they've had some success offensively here, but it's just when they've had to convert on the big 3rd downs, they haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, and again, and you pointed out that one big fumble earlier. Just you can't have that happen. You can't turn the ball over that way. But again, you gotta focus. A team like this, just focus on each play, each drive. Keep it. You can't look at the big picture right now. You just got to look at win each play. You really do.
We had so many quotes from Alonzo Hampton, the first-year coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff. We'll get to some of that in a minute. Edwards to pass it. Going to go underneath. Has his man out there. That is Dawkins. He gets away, and he's going to have a gain of about 2. Made something out of nothing to Damon Dawkins, because the outset, that play looked like it was going nowhere.
Oh, he was doing some dancing. I think he was dancing with the stars. He was cranking it out, but all that dancing got him another 3-4 yards right there. So
Dawkins, 5'10", 170 pounds from District Heights, Maryland. Of course, Jackson State comes into this game 5-3 overall. The Golden Lions 1-6. Alonzo Hampton says, it just looks like we're losing, but what we're doing is we're learning and we're getting better. And a nice play in the backfield there as Jonas Davis is taken down before he could actually get going. That is Kirsten Rogers, actually number 35 on the carry.
Yeah, he tried to turn that edge, just couldn't do it. Again, that's the aggressive defense of Jackson State. They are just Isaac Peppers, just everywhere.
Yeah. He's a special player and a special story. Came into the game with 3.5 sacks, but he also had 7.5 tackles for loss. You could probably make that 8.5 after that play right there. So 3rd and 10 coming up now for the Golden Lions. Chancellor Edwards at quarterback. Under pressure. He's hit as he went to throw it, and a big stick indeed as he goes down. It was Joshua Clark, and the ball is still loose, picked up by the Tigers. In return, let's see what the officials say. He was hit right as he released that. It looked like a forward pass initially, but you have to keep playing it out, and that's what the Jackson State Tigers did.
Yeah, and I think the refs tend to, right here you can see he's going forward with that ball, so that's a throw. Yeah, but refs they don't want to blow that whistle too early and just in case. And so I think under review, you're going to see he's passing that ball. He cocks it back and he's throwing. He just gets hit on the elbow. Hopefully his elbow's okay because he gets hit with the helmet right on that elbow.
That was Joshua Clark bringing the heat.
I'm going to say the Tigers offense is running out there. They're ready to go, but it's under review right now.
It's under review, so we'll see what they come out with. I agree with you. When you look at that on the play right there, it looked like the arm was definitely coming forward, and it looked that way in regular time also.
Yeah, and again, I'm more concerned about Edwards' elbow. Watch his elbow right there hits the helmet as he's throwing it forward. You got to hope he's okay. But what a hit, and again, the aggressiveness of the Tigers defense, they just keep coming. But hopefully this isn't a turnover if you're a Golden Lions fan, and I don't think it is.
Well, and that's one of the things T.C. Taylor told us. He told his offense coming into this game. He said, you guys need to relax and just play ball because the defense will create those turnovers for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and watch it right there, boy. You see that happen so fast, but his arm's going forward before that ball comes out. But it looks like his elbow's okay. He's not grabbing it, so hopefully that's the case. And again, I'm glad we saw it full speed. I always, slow-mo's great.
Yeah.
But you get used to seeing slow-mo and go, how did he miss that? Well, look at it full speed, and let me tell you how quick that happens. People forget. You blink or you have some kind of quick moment, you can't see it, and there they go. They're sending their offense back to the sidelines. I think that punt team will come out. Was this third or is it going to the fourth? Here we go again here. And watch him just come. That ball starts forward, and then he's hit on the elbow as he's throwing it. I don't know what's taking him so long to call that, but I think it's pretty obvious at this point.
Should be pretty clear. So the Golden Lions are on offense, so it looked like they will have the football. 4th down and 10 yards to go, so they will punt it away. So Jeremy Baker will come on for the Golden Lions with 3:35 to go here in the first quarter. So the kick goes off the foot, so it's not a good punt at all as it goes off to the side and goes out of bounds. That's going to be a short kick, and it's going to give Jackson State great field position.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be in Golden Lions territory right out of the gate. That's not what you want. You certainly have to have better punts than that. We'll see where it's spotted here. Looks like the 46-yard line. So now the Tigers are going to come out. They were ready to come out a minute ago. So now they're just out of play later.
The Tigers did the right thing offensively. They picked up the fumble, what appeared to be a fumble, and ran with it because that's what you're supposed to do, but it goes down as an incomplete pass. Now they have the football again offensively, and they go to Moultrie on the handoff around the right side, and Moultrie's going to pick up about 4 yards. So a nice carry on first down.
Well, watch Moultrie just battle from the first contact. You see how he just kind of went from one guy engaging into 2, 3, and 4 guys before he went down.
Morgan's going to keep it this time, looking for some room, and the big fella slides down close to the first down. May have picked it up. He got very close. We'll see where the officials put it down.
Looks like he's probably a yard short on that one, Butch.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and short. Because he slid, they marked him an extra yard. So call it a long one. 3rd and a long one for Jackson State to get the first down. Football resting on the 43-yard line. And the give, and he's upended. A big stop there by the Golden Lions.
I just don't know where that mark is. It looks like that mark's real close to that first down there, Butch.
That was Moultrie again. He didn't need much. He just needed to get a yard and a half, and it is a first down for the Jackson State Tigers. So a good job by Moultrie getting what he needed there.
Again, we've seen Moultrie before. It's kind of funny to me. I remember the last time we saw him, he was running a little more powerful inside. It seems like he's kind of running off the edges here, running off tackle into the outside today.
That last punt by Jeremy Baker, 20 yards. And they try to go to the end around. Ball is out, and it's going to be recovered by Jackson State. So the Tigers trying to get fancy there in the backfield. And let's see, now big number 90 has the football for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Cameron Rutherford. You see right there, Moultrie tried to pitch it. It's loose, still out there. And right there, looks like 90 took it away. We will see what the officials say. 64 had it, Deontay Graham.
Yeah, but
it was dead. It was dead. Hey, man, if you're not trying.
That's right.
So good job by big number 90, Cameron Rutherford. He was hustling.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what you try to do, for sure.
2nd and 19 coming up now after they tried to go to that reverse play. It may have been a reverse pass. You never know. Morgan comes underneath, and he has Duke Miller. Miller still on his feet. It's going to be a nice gain. He got a big chunk of that back to Duke Miller right there.
The timing of the Tigers right now is really impressive. Look at the timing on this play. Looks right, comes back left, lineman out in front of him. They create the play really well. And again, he runs inside of his blocks right there. Really, really good.
Kyrie Williams, the young man who made the tackle, is down on the field. He came in there with that shoulder, and he went to walk away, and he immediately grabbed his shoulder and went down. So we're still early in. We got 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We've already had 3 injuries.
Yeah, and they've all been on the Pine Bluff side. Again, pretty physical game, and the Tigers certainly bring the intensity. That was part of the big thing that they needed to make sure they did, right? When you look at an opponent, people start saying you can overlook. T.C. Taylor said we don't overlook anyone. We got to make sure we have our focus and bring the intensity. He's talked about it before, that they just have to play the best they can play and not worry so much about the opponent, but you can't overlook them, and the intensity is key.
Kyrie Williams, a 5'11", 201-pound junior from Akron, Ohio. He's a transfer from Iowa Western Community College. And we saw him go off on his own power, as we said before. That's always a good sign. As we are ticking down to the end of the first quarter. 3rd and 6 now for Jackson State. They put Big Hagler in motion. Morgan looking downfield, fires a strike. It's caught by McCray, and he's out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So a great job to Fabian McCray. Jacobian Morgan completes the pass to McCray.
Well, McCray already having a pretty good day. Real quick. And gets his 4th catch.
Tigers knocking at the door, but we're down to 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Morgan down to 8 seconds. Now he's going to pass it. Under pressure. Morgan is caught and dropped in another big defensive play by the Golden Lions. Number 21, Grant Ewell Jr. from Portland, Oregon is in the backfield and dropped him as we come to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Morgan stares him down for a minute like, I'm not worried about you, I'm throwing over you. And then he just couldn't move quick enough to get out of the way.
Yeah, very indecisive by Morgan there. But that is the end of the first quarter. 13-0 Jackson State. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Jackson State with the football and a 13-0 lead as they have a 2nd and 17 right here for a touchdown. Tigers are coming off that sack of their quarterback Jacobian Morgan right before the break. So he puts Moultrie to his left. Morgan snaps it, fakes it to Moultrie. Now he's going to pull it down. Jacobian looking to run it, has some room on the outside, and he's going to step out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Close to a late hit. Morgan thought it was, but the officials said all good here.
Wow. I've seen a lot less called on this one. And again, he was indecisive again a little bit. Then we decided to run. That's a close one. I'm surprised it's not a flag nowadays. I personally think that's okay, but you touch a quarterback when they're heading out. That's tough.
And a little bit of confusion here for Jackson State as Moultrie is trying to get lined up, the running back, Desmond Moultrie. And it's 3rd and 7 for the touchdown for Jackson State. Jacobian Morgan into the end zone, back of the end zone, DJ Stevens, and he's out of the end zone. He was open for just a second, but the ball might have come a tad late.
Yeah, it's got to get there sooner because he basically ran himself right out the back end of the end zone. Couldn't do anything about it. Right there, the trigger's got to already be running. And you can see right here, he's already at the back. There's no way. He's lucky he didn't slam into the post.
Came very close to it, so a 4th down attempt now. We're going to have Dylan Wasson come onto the field to attempt the field goal. It will be a 24-yard attempt, unofficially, from Wasson. And he's an interesting story himself, who's basically a walk-on kicker here at Jackson State. We'll get to that in a minute. Wasson's kick is sailing right, and it is good. He gets it through the uprights that time. And Jackson State will tack on 3 more and take a 16-0 lead in this game. And you will remember just a couple of weeks ago, we were doing their games. They did not have a kicker, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. But right now, we're going to pause for another timeout. 16-0 Jackson State with 14:11 to go.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Since 1877, Jackson State University has been training students for a life of service and leadership to impact our global society. Ranked among the best HBCUs in the country, Jackson State University offers 47 undergraduate, 37 master's, 1 specialist, and 13 doctoral degree programs. Whether you're interested in the arts, education, public health, the sciences, or business, we're here to take you from ready to JSU ready. Visit jsums.edu and apply today.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
So far on the scoreboard, it's been all Jackson State, but right before the break, we were talking about their kicking wars. Of course, Geraldo Beza is an outstanding kicker. You know, he could have possibly been an all-conference kicker. He got hurt. He was out for the season. And then they came back, and then Matt Noel was going to try it. He got hurt during practice. And then they brought in Leilani Armenta, and she didn't really get a chance to try it. And then they found Wasson, as we have the kick return here, and is going to get to about the 20, still on his feet, maybe up to the 25. And then Dylan Wasson was on campus. They found out about it because his dad was a state trooper with one of T.C. Taylor's former teammates.
There you go. How easy is that?
And that's how they found him.
And I say, hey, my son's out there, right? Why don't you give him a shot? He comes out there and he tries out, and then he's been great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing that's been, not only did he make the team, but he's been really, really solid. And as for Armenta, she came off the soccer team. She was just happened to be out there, and someone said she played in high school, so they let her try to kick.
You said he was good. This is how good he's been. He's made kicks from 40, 45, and 46 yards.
Yeah.
So they're very happy to have Dylan Wasson. So now Arkansas Pine Bluff back with the football. They go on offense. And they're going to go to the running game, and they have some room on the outside. So it's going to be a nice pickup there by the Golden Lions. Number 24, B.J. Curry on the carry. We also have a new quarterback in the game. And we're going to see, it looks like Mekhi Haggins, who's the quarterback that's in the game. So the Golden Lions trying to mix things up a little bit. Little change, a strike thrown, caught, and a nice pickup again by the Golden Lions. Kenji Lewis on the catch for a short gain, but that's going to set up a nice 3rd and 1. Actually, that was a first down. So let's make it 1st and 10 for the Golden Lions. And there's your quarterback, Mekhi Haggins, 6'3", 204 pounds. He's a junior from St. Louis, Missouri. He's got some playing time this year. They've played all 3 quarterbacks at different times, so this is nothing unusual for Alonzo Hampton to try to jumpstart his team. Haggins slips a tackle in the backfield, but he has nowhere to go. Just a great response by that Jackson State defense.
I'll tell you, man, that defense led by Isaac Peppers is just impressive. They are all over the map. And again, you got to give your quarterback an opportunity. Look right there. You got pressure rolling in, and it just does not stop.
Yeah, Haggins surrounded in the backfield before he could do anything, really. Let's call it a loss of 1 after that last play, that last fine defensive play by the Tigers. So 2nd and 11 coming up now for the Golden Lions.
And Khalil Arrington led that charge.
Another fine player. 35 tackles on the year. Haggins fires it out near the sideline. That one's going to go down as an incomplete pass. Joshua Clark over there defending on the play. He's been busy in this first half. Big fella from New Orleans, a transfer from Ole Miss. And he had a cup of coffee at Northwestern State.
Coffee before the game. May have had a couple of espressos the way he's playing.
Got 12:09 to go here. Third and 11. Haggins in trouble again, and he's caught and he's dropped. Boy, this is something that we know. Devontae Davis on the sack, and that's something Jackson State excels at, rushing the passer there.
I think that was Tyus Martin, number 98. I should think so here. They had a couple big guys in there. Watch them. Big 98 and 97 collapse. Wonder if they'll give that a team who if they're going to share the sack or not, right?
Hey, that's where the half the sack comes from, because of plays like that. You got one guy that has him, and then another guy basically comes in and finishes him off. So now the Golden Lions will have to punt it away. Last time Baker had a 20-yard punt, so he's looking to do better this time. Gets the kick away. Going to get a good bounce, a Golden Lions bounce, and now it's going to settle in around the 18-yard line where they finally touched it down. But, you know, we really enjoyed our conversation with Alonzo Hampton. We'll talk about that more in just a minute. 16-0 Jackson State. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. 16-0 Jackson State leading Arkansas Pine Bluff. We're in the second quarter with 11:11 to go. That last punt by Jeremy Baker, boy, he got into that one. 51 yards. So a good job flipping the field there. Baker doing a good job. But we were talking about Alonzo Hampton right before we went to break. And he's such a positive, uplifting guy. First-year head coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff. And he just said, you look at that 1-6 record and people think we're losing. He said, we're learning, man. We're learning. We're getting better. We're getting experience out of this.
Well, anyone can take a look at and look at their own life. What's the best place you learn in failures, right? Learning not to do something, and usually when you fail it, you'll do whatever you can not to have that failure again. And that's what he's building. He's a new coach, new culture, trying to set the tone of how he wants his program run. He is certainly a joy to hear.
So Tigers 1st and 10 with Ahmad Miller on a carry. Picks up a couple of yards inside. Yeah, no, he was just a pleasure to talk to. Just a real positive guy, talking about a lot of things. Pleased with some of the progress on defense. On the other side, you got another first-year coach, T.C. Taylor, who's stepping in for Deion Sanders, and all he did was just win the conference championship for 2 consecutive years. So those are big shoes to fill.
What I like what Taylor's done, though, he hasn't tried to redo everything. He's like, look, we're going to keep the same goals that we had before. We're going to dominate, and we're going to execute. And his players have bought in, and they've done that.
Morgan's pass is tipped away right there. He did have an open receiver downfield, but one of the big linemen got a hand on that one to break up the pass. So that's going to set up a 3rd down and 7 for Jackson State.
Yeah, I think big Ryland Woods thought he was going to be able to have that interception. See how his hand went up there? He thought, man, if I can grab that, turn this the other way.
Ryland Woods, the 6-footer, 235-pound junior, making a big play. Jackson State 4 for 6 on 3rd down. Morgan passing near the sidelines, and it's caught, but out of bounds. So he led him just a little too much, was trying to hit Kobe Paul. Paul made the catch, but he was out of bounds on the play.
Well, that's kind of what Coach talked about. Morgan, his timing's just a little bit off. And we talked about he's got to make the play that's there. He's just a little bit behind, which means your receiver drifts too far to the sidelines, and he's not able to take it in.
But some of that could be also from the hand injury, the surgery, and just not playing. He just needs the reps.
Right. No, it's a timing with your receiver, making quicker decisions. There's a whole lot that goes about this. It doesn't just happen real quick. And again, but that's a big stop for the Golden Lions.
So Matt Knoll on to punt the football away. Sends it high and deep, and we will have a return on it. It's Johnson. Shakes the tackler, but now he's caught and dropped at the 30-yard line. So Donald Johnson trying to get something going to transfer from Grambling, but he is caught and dropped. We got 10:09 to go. We'll be back in a minute. Stick around.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score. Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Welcome back, everyone. We are 10 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the second quarter as Jackson State is leading Arkansas Pine Bluff 16-0 in the ball game. And we have Arkansas Pine Bluff with the football getting set to go on offense. And we'll see who checked in at quarterback. It's number 9 again. And it hands off, and it's going to be a short gain on the run. That is Makai Higgins again at quarterback. Gives it to 24, B.J. Curry on the carry.
Golden Lions need something big to happen. I mean, they're not getting done rushing, passing. They have just 38 yards on 18 plays. That is not going to get it, while the Tigers have 28 plays, 189 yards.
So second down and 10 to go now. Makai will pass it. Fires over the middle. Has a man down there, and he just overshot him. Just a little too strong on that pass. Was trying to hit Kenji Lewis, who had a couple of steps.
Yeah, it looked to me when he was releasing that ball, it's almost like when something, you're in a carnival game and you're trying to hit that one little thing. Watch him as he releases it. He's like, oh, he's right there. I'm going to try to pinpoint it in, and just couldn't get it right there. He should have let him a little bit to the outside shoulder. That's where more room was, as the safety was coming over the top to help out.
Anthony Petty did a good job of getting over there right at the end, so you couldn't really float that ball too much. So
right.
Third down and 10 now for the Golden Lions. In trouble. Higgins fires over the middle, has his man, it's caught. He's going to pick up the first down and more. The Golden Lions come up with a huge play. It's Derek White on the reception, and he picked up the big first down to keep the drive alive.
Boy, what's your favorite person in quarterback? It's a receiver that makes himself, now first he turns into trouble actually, and then he gets to the outside, and then he still looks downfield. Now watch this move right there. That creates the extra room for the first down, and a receiver that comes back and helps out his quarterback. That's your favorite guy.
Big first down there as you see Derek White, who made the catch, 5'11", 168. Sophomore from the ATL, and the handoff goes inside to B.J. Curry, and he runs into a solid wall.
Wow, but look at him.
He spun out of there, but that's a...
How did he get that extra 4 to 5 yards? Did he tunnel through there? What the heck was that?
He made a nice little move spinning out of there as we get down to the 8:30 mark.
Wow. That's just determination right there.
Yeah, he didn't quit because the initial stop went nowhere, and then he spun out of it to set up a nice 2nd and 5 for the Golden Lions that they've come to life offensively here. Higgins to pass it again. Now the pressure comes in. Rolling to his right, escapes, and he's going to end up picking up 2 or 3 yards as he steps out of bounds. So he does a good job, like I said, making something happen there.
Did he get yours?
Let's see.
I thought he should have thrown it away.
Yeah, he got into
that one. Yeah, back him up just a little bit, Coach. I think he didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Third down, and now they're going to put, 3rd and 7. I was watching the scoreboard, I'm sorry. Originally they had 3rd and 5, but make it 3rd and 7 now as they pushed it back, and we do have a timeout on the field as they talk about things over there. And you see T.C. Taylor in the middle there somewhere talking to his team. Been a pretty good first half for Jackson State, but now all of a sudden Arkansas Pine Bluff has a lot of the momentum going.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Bradley, one of the defensive coordinator in there, right there in the middle. He talked about this week a lot of it being attention to detail. He said you can't let yourself get away from your detail and what's coached, and you got to be able to finish plays, finish drives. That's the big part of what they need to do. A lot of times they were doing a lot of right things, and on the play they needed the most, they lost their attention span. They lost their intensity.
Yeah, but Jonathan Bradley has this team really playing some good defense.
Yeah,
I mean, they're being aggressive. They're all over the field, and more importantly than anything else, they're forcing turnovers, and they're making turnovers happen. So here comes a big 3rd down now for the Golden Lions from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Makai Higgins in at quarterback. Blitz faked the blitz on the play, and Pine Bluff wisely backed out of it. And now we have another whistle and another timeout on the field.
This time the Golden Lions say, "Wait a minute, we didn't like what we saw right there. We're gonna have a look at this and see what we're gonna do here."
Well, what they saw was a lot of pressure about to come their way.
Right.
And we were just talking about the Jackson State defense, second in the SWAC in passing defense, allowing right at 190 yards a game. Most of the time it's less than that. So I mean, they're just doing an outstanding job on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, that's exceptional. And again, they do so much so well. They got a secondary that's just fantastic. They can switch out different guys at different positions. They put a lot of pressure on those cornerbacks and safeties to cover and cover well. They don't mind doing man. So they mix it up quite a bit.
On the rushing side, only giving up 154 yards rushing a game. So, but what they do, I think, better than anything else is they will bring the heat. And we will see if it's coming here on 3rd and 7. Golden Lions will pass it, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. No chance on that one. Was trying to hit number 3 over there in the vicinity, but it just wasn't happening there. Actually, it was Kenji Lewis down there. Wow, so they're going to have to kick the football away. So the Lions had something going right there. The Golden Lions had the football going up and down the field, but that defense came up with a big play, and with 7:40 to go here in the first half, Jackson State looks like they're going to get the football back.
And again, what this does is it puts a drain on that Golden Lions defense because they're on the field so much and so much pressure, they get worried about making a mistake.
Pressure on the kicker, and they hit the kicker. And now the official behind the kicker, behind the punter, said they did partially block the kick. He was signaling that they did block the kick because they ran directly into the punter on that play.
Yeah, and the rule there is if you've touched the ball at all, then you can hit the punter. You can run into him, which it's almost like double jeopardy for the punter. That's right, I got my punt block and you can hit me.
If we could take another look at that, it'd be great because the punter, the defensive player who showed up, got on the corner right there. He was there early and in plenty enough time to get that. Watch this.
There were 3 guys there that just have a party at the punter's foot.
Looked like it may have been Alan Burnett. Numbers, I'm not sure who it was. I didn't quite get the number either.
Say pick one. There was 3 guys. There were 3 guys there. I think any one of them could have put a hand on that ball.
Tavarius Jones also back there, and it looked like he was there, but whoever came from the left side just kind of missed the ball, like barely got a piece of the ball because they were there early enough to get the block.
So I thought they were going to get it.
Yeah.
In live action. Yeah, they did.
So Jackson State has the football. Tigers getting set to go back to work on offense. Plenty of time here in the second quarter, and Morgan has gone all the way at quarterback in his second start. Done some things well, been a little off on some of his passes. And he's starting 1st and 10 here with the ball at the 13-yard line. Morgan will throw it. Now he gets out of the pocket. He was a little anxious to get out of there. He had some time, good protection, but he takes it past the 20-yard line. So a nice gain by Jacoby and Morgan. It's an interesting story about him. T.C. Taylor actually recruited him in high school, and then Syracuse won, but they stayed in touch with the family. T.C. said, hey, look, you never know. He goes away, he goes all the way to Syracuse, and lo and behold, because they stayed in touch with the family, when he decided, things aren't going the way I want him to go, he comes back to Jackson State.
Yeah, and again, if he would have been in the spring, he felt like he would have gotten more work in.
2nd and 3, and Morgan completes the pass. It's a first down and more. A big pickup right there by the Tigers.
Well, good execution here. Again, looking up the field, then turns left, throws it out there in the flat, and then great moves.
That was J.D. Morgan, the running back who's missed several games this year because of a toe injury. And each week, Coach would tell us he's getting closer and closer to coming back. And that time on the previous play, that time it was Duke Miller, but the previous play was J.D. Martin, who had gotten the backfield and saw some action over there. So it's good to see him. He's a good runner, and of course he's getting some action today. He's getting to work back into it because Irv Mulligan is not available, but we do have a flag, and we have not had a lot of flags in this ball game. So this was going to push the offense back.
Actually, I hate saying that because that means there's going to be a plethora of them after.
So the holding call goes against Jackson State, so to wipe out that play to Duke Miller. But we were talking about J.D. Martin, who is an outstanding running back, and for a long time he was the starting running back, and then he injured the toe, missed a lot of action, and that kind of opened the door for Herb Mulligan.
And of course, Herb Mulligan has been just fantastic. He's second in the SWAC in rushing, and he is elected.
Yeah, and this is the second game he's missed, and he's still second in the SWAC.
Yeah.
So the handoff goes to Martin, and Martin's going to pick up a big gain, still on his feet. He's down the sideline, and Martin's going to rip off a big run for the offense as they come back. They get the penalty yardage, and they get the first down as Jackson State is back on the move again.
What a run. I mean, look at that. Comes from the inside, goes right off the tackle, but just stays on that slant outside, makes a guy miss, and then just turns on the gas heading outside.
Once again, though, it's the tackling that's not really working out too well for Arkansas Pine Bluff. They had a couple of shots at Martin right there, couldn't bring him down, so that big run, Martin will sit, and Desmond Montree will come back, slips the tackler in the backfield. He goes around the left side. He's going to pick up about 7. Moultrie on the carry there as he gets back into the ball game.
Tell you, when you got a battle of running backs like that have that kind of success, everyone's like, well, wait a minute, I better bring it when I get out there, otherwise I won't see the field again.
It's a talented group of running backs indeed. Second and 5 now for the Tigers from Jackson State. Morgan looking to throw it, and he slips away. Got caught in the backfield. He completes his pass, and that is a first down for JSU. That pass to Kobe Paul, who hauled that one in.
Yeah, I thought Morgan was going to just tuck it down and go ahead and run it, but he decided not to and threw it. Good job by him. And again, making good decisions, and when the play is there, you got to make it.
So the Tigers, because they're moving the ball, like you like to say, it's easy to go to that up-tempo offense when you're making big plays, and they are making big plays. First and 10 ball on the 25-yard line, and Morgan looking to pass it again. Down the sideline, has a man breaking perfectly. That's DJ Stevens, and it's another touchdown for Jackson State. The big tight end hauled it in. He had a touchdown on the second play of the game, and now DJ Stevens bounced back again.
Well, I'll tell you, Desmond Moultrie made the block that allowed it to happen. Watch Moultrie slide to his left, gets the defensive end, slams him down so that way he can throw the easy pass into the touchdown to Stevens. Again, a running back willing to block. That's big time. That's guys buying into each play, buying into your program. We saw receivers blocking well earlier, now running back.
Well, you know the best thing about that drive? And here is Lalani Armenta on for the extra point, the young lady we talked about not that long ago, just a few minutes ago, and she hit it.
There you go.
And that's one happy group of Jackson State Tigers down there. Lalani Armenta from Ventura, California, first woman to ever play in a SWAC football game, to ever play in an HBCU football game. And she comes on and she drills the extra point, and they're excited about it. We're going to pause for a timeout now. 24-0, Jackson State out in front. 23-0 Jackson State out in front, but what they're celebrating is the extra point by Leilani Armenta, that young lady right there who became the first young lady. A couple of weeks ago, she was the first young lady to kick in a SWAC game or in an HBCU game, and then today she made an extra point. So what an excellent, boy, she is really fired up and happy. As you see the play drive there, 6 plays, 87 yards. And it took them 2 minutes and 7 seconds to get that touchdown. A 25-yard TD pass to DJ Stevens. And now all of a sudden, a lot of that momentum is on the Jackson State side.
Yeah, you know what I love about Armenta? When we saw her come in, and it was an emergency time she came in, she had basically no practice, had to come in, and she kicked an extra point. It was rough for her. Certainly didn't look the way you know that she wanted it to look. And then to come out here in this game a couple weeks later, really 2-3 weeks later, and now she kicks a perfect extra point, and you can just tell her timing and all that is so much better because she used to kick in high school and now kicking here. You can just tell she's absolutely elated.
Well, they all are.
And the team is,
that
yes.
first game, it was the kickoff, and it didn't quite go the way she expected it to go on the kickoff.
Yeah.
And so that was her first attempt at an extra point, and she drilled it, and you could see that whole sideline just light up right there with enthusiasm behind that. And so now Arkansas Pine Bluff will try to stop some of this momentum that's going Jackson State way. And they started out with a pass and a nice gain on first down as they go to Damon Dawkins on the catch and run.
Yeah, and this sounds silly, Butch, but at the end of the day, the Golden Lions really just have to concentrate on each play. Just try to execute the best you can, right? And get some positive plays and just honestly, just you got to do play-by-play. It always sounds so weird when people say that, but that's what they have to do right now. You can't look at the big picture.
2nd and 4 for the Golden Lions. The pass is complete to number 2, Kenji Lewis. Going to be a short gain on the play, but they're trying to do what you're talking about. 4:55 to go here. Just move the ball downfield.
Yeah, and if anything you do here, you got to maintain the ball. Maintain the ball through the rest of this quarter if you can possibly.
So Chandler Edwards, after taking a couple of series off, he's back in at quarterback for the Golden Lions. Number 17 right there on your screen. Obviously the coaches just wanted to get him on the sidelines and let him calm down a little bit and then restart. He goes to the run and nothing happening right there. Just a great reaction from that defensive line for the Jackson State Tigers. You see white jerseys all over the field right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Tigers are really, maybe the piranhas after this one, the way they're everywhere all over the place. I mean, just look at it. There's like 4 or 5 guys all on top of us. A little bit of a late hit there on the other part of it, but wow.
2nd down coming up now, make it a loss of 3 on the play. Golden Lions with the ball. Edwards back in at quarterback. Puts his back in motion. Has some time. Has a man open underneath. That is Kenji Lewis, who spins away and is going to come up with the first down for the Golden Lions. Kenji Lewis, the 6'1", 200-pound sophomore from Memphis, coming up with a big play.
Yeah, Lewis did a great job just going right into the empty spot and just sat down, waited, boom, grabbed the ball and took off. And I'm like, oh, a little spin move there, huh?
Well, they were moving the football last time they had it. You know, it just unfortunately the drive came to an end. Edwards with the pass underneath again to Lewis. Down to 3:12 to go here in the first half.
Lewis really does a good job of pushing that defender to back up, and right when he's getting ready to cross over to kind of turn, as a defensive back, you're backpedaling, kind of turning. Once you do that turn, that's where he stops and digs in.
So 2nd and 6 now for the Golden Lions. May have had an offside penalty there. Don't see the flag. And there's a flag downfield, though. A little contact, and the flag is thrown downfield. Jalen Hughes was in the vicinity. He was on the ground, actually, for Jackson State.
He either grabbed Claude Coleman on his way down for 88. The Golden Warriors or not. I think that's what happened. He was falling and kind of grabbed him and slowed him down. All right. I speak blur, and what that is two fouls, off defense, offsides, and then interference. There he is pulling him down right as he was falling down, and they're going to go with the interference call and take that.
Which is what you need to do in that situation. Yeah, he was yanking on Claude Coleman's jersey right there. So a big first down for the Golden Lions, sets him up down at the 30-yard line with the football. We still got plenty of time for them to punch this into the end zone. 23-0, Jackson State out in front if you're just joining us. Empty backfield. Now he puts a man in motion. That's Dawkins. Was going to throw it to Dawkins, but goes over the middle high, but a nice catch, and then he couldn't hang on to it. So he had a man open, passed just a little tad high. Went to his big tight end right there, Tristan Ballard. And we have a couple of players down, a couple of Jackson State players down.
Boy, Ballard did a good job. Watch him go up, grab it. He gets hit right inside that hip and in that rib cage. And, boy, that's a hard hit.
Yeah, that was B.J. Washington, number 9. He's one of the players who was shaken up on that play.
He delivered the hit. He's hurting. Tells you how tough Ballard is. But he's holding on to that side a little bit as he gets up.
Yeah, while that pass was intended for Ballard, the interesting thing about Tristan Ballard, and he's one of these guys. Coach was talking about him as he's listed as 241, but he said if you see him in person, he looks like he's 260. I mean, he's got that kind of Adonis body and stuff. And he said, it's so cute to see he and his mom were both in grad school at the same time, and his mom recently graduated, got her master's. Now he's working on his, and he'll get his pretty soon.
How impressive is that? And I'll tell you what, you don't think his mom challenged him, right? She said, if I could do this, you can do this, right? And again, a lot of props to him for doing that. That's impressive, going to get your master's, still playing. And again, we know he's tough by the way he took on that hit right there. Congratulations to him and his mom.
And that puts a lot of extra pressure on you, because if you got your mom in there and if she's doing it and she's getting it done, you got no excuses.
Sure. No, 100%. And again, you got a guy going for your master's, and it says a lot for Jackson State and their program of what they're trying to push guys to.
Ballard, who's Arkansas Pine Bluff, as we're watching the Jackson State sideline over there as they're working on while the injured player is being attended to, and you see the Jackson State players, the Arkansas Pine Bluff team there, and Tristan Ballard, and he's just one of the guys that, and that's one of the things Coach Alonzo Hampton said about, we want these guys to be good citizens too, and we want them to achieve things and go to school and go to class and do the right things. And he said, believe it or not, that's how you become successful on the football field.
Yeah, I misspoke, said Jackson State a minute ago, but yeah, Arkansas Pine Bluff is what I meant to say. And again, you're right. I mean, he's certainly trying to create, Alonzo Hampton, a different type of character and a different type of team. And again, he talked about having his guys do chapel night every Friday night. I think that's huge, and he gets about 35 guys on that team to attend a chapel night on a Friday night where they all get together, and he says he used to lead it, and now he's got players that lead it, and they take him through it, and now it's kind of a self propagating deal for the players, right? It's about them, and it's about their walk. And that's incredibly impressive, and what a bonding moment for them.
Exactly, and it's something that they do on their own. It's not a mandatory thing that you have to show up for. It's something like that, and they want to do it. And he said he can tell you can tell it's brought the team closer, and it's made it even closer when you let the players actually lead the chapel service. So they got a lot of things going on in Arkansas Pine Bluff, but he was just such a positive, uplifting guy to talk to, and all of his coaches. In fact, there's a connection between Alonzo Hampton at Arkansas Pine Bluff and the offensive coordinator for Jackson State, who's Maurice Harris, because Alonzo actually wanted to hire Maurice Harris, but they got to be friendly because they were part of another coach's Bible study situation that involved 300 coaches. They would do it online, and they would do it at 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And so that was a kind of cool thing. And he said, yeah, I actually tried to bring him over, and I couldn't get him to come over. And then we're a little pause. We have a timeout on the field now. We do have an injured player on the field that they're taking a look at. We're going to pause for a timeout. 23-0 Jackson State We'll be right back. You see the applause as they help the injured player off the field. We'll be back in a minute. We are back with live action now. Arkansas Pine Bluff with the football on the attack. Blitz coming, but he gets away from it. A nice spin move, still on his feet and stepping out of bounds. On the carry right there, Mekhi Hagans back in at quarterback. So the long break for the injury, and that Chancellor Edwards is out, and Hagans is back on at quarterback. Turns in a nice run there for first down.
I was going to say, they're mixing it up, trying to make sure the Tigers don't know what's coming their way, and maybe that's the way to do it.
1st and 10 now for Arkansas Pine Bluff, as they look over to the sideline for the play. 2:13 and counting to go here in the first half. 23-0 Jackson State, but Golden Lions knocking on the door here, trying to get something going in the red zone, and movement on the offensive line. Big number 74, Kristen Love, might have been the first one to jump. We'll have to see what the officials have on this.
Boy, that's an Alka-Seltzer moment for coaches right there, because you start to get some positives going, and you get no other way to call it, a mental error, right? That you just can't jump off sides. But again, I get it. As far as the linemen go, the amount of rush and the pressure you're under every time you take a snap for the Golden Lions, it is tough. And you want to make sure you get it the quickest start you possibly can, but you can't jump off sides.
Well, there's a lot going on down there now. You're trying to make sure you don't miss a call. You're trying to make sure you see what's going on. You get the snap count. There's a lot happening. So here we go on 1st and 15. Pass to the end zone is broken up. 2 Jackson State defenders there made a fine play, knocking that one away. Solomon Rogers was back there. He had some help with him also. Also number 8, Jalen Hughes. So this is going to be a big series right here as we go to 1:55 to go in the first half. Arkansas Pine Bluff would love to put some points on the board before halftime.
You know, in the SWAC, the Tigers do more man-on-man than anyone else I see. Most other defenses do a lot more zone. They challenge you every play.
Hagans had a lot of room right in front of him and wide open, and he's going to take it down to the 1-yard line. What a nice run right there by Mekhi Hagans on the carry.
And, you know, he went down to the ground. That ball came popping out. The Tigers thought they had another fumble here. But because they're man-on-man, look, it clears out the entire middle. Just talked about that. And then he comes storming through. And, again, they thought they had a fumble, but he was surely down. And that ball popped out to 1.
So 1st and goal to go for the Golden Lions. Hagans at quarterback. Blitz coming. He hands it off, and he gets around the outside and into the end zone for the touchdown for Pine Bluff. That's Kirsten Rogers on the carry, and he takes it in for the touchdown.
Wow, that's one of the few times you'll see two misses from the Tigers as far as tackles, and Rogers did a great job. I thought he was dead to rights about 3 or 4 yards back. Watch, he gets the ball. I thought right there he's gone. Bad angle right there, then he takes it in for the looked like easy touchdown. Look at that. Just a bad pursuit angle off that edge. You let him get around you, and they score a touchdown. This is big for the Golden Lions.
Did a great job bouncing it to the outside. Extra point. It is good. So they drilled it. So a nice drive by the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions, and they finished it off. That was the most important thing about that drive. They've had some good drives in this ball game, but they have not been able to finish them off, and they finished it right there. The drive, as you can see, 10 plays, 77 yards, 3 minutes and 49 seconds before Rogers ran it in for the touchdown. 1 yard on the touchdown run.
And that is something you can build off of. I said it would be extremely hard to get long drives to score. And Alonzo Hampton can point to that and say, see guys, we can do it, and we can do it against one of the best defense, not the best defense in all of the SWAC, and we can get it done. And they're going to grab that tape, they're going to look at it and say, guys, this is what we can do, this is what we can do. So that's huge for them, 10 plays.
Driving it down and scoring and getting the points was part one of this equation. Part two is what Coach David Holloway told us, the defensive coordinator, what he told us this week. David Callaway, excuse me. What Callaway told us, he said, we can't give up any big splash plays. We cannot give up any long plays for touchdown. We got 1:28 to go in the first half. We will see if their defense can come on and shut Jackson State down. So here come the Tigers on the return. It is Spencer around the outside, got blockers in front of him. Stevens looking for a hole. Spencer still on his feet, and finally he just stepped out of bounds. Isaiah Spencer with a great return to set Jackson State up again with some great field position with 1:17 to go in the first half.
I love what Stevens does right here. Stevens stays in, gets in front of him. Watch, he gets right behind Stevens, and Stevens just keeps working, and he's patient enough to stay right behind him, realizing he's going to create another 5, 10 yards by staying right in Stevens' hip pocket. Great job on special teams, and again, you talk about giving up big plays. Obviously, the second game of the second play of the game, they gave up the big one. Right now, they have got to stay strong here and close it out on defense for the Golden Lions.
That is exactly what David Callaway told us. He wanted his team to avoid the big kickoff return, puts Jackson State in great position to maybe add some more points before the half. So Morgan goes back to pass, backing up, and finally just throws it wide and out of bounds. But wow, we have a flag down, and one of the offensive linemen is down right next to the flag.
Well, it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but 3 of the Tigers linemen all collided back there trying to make blocks. I would imagine there's a hold there.
That was Deontay Graham, number 64, who was down on the ground. See Morgan trying to fire up his offense there.
And that's what they talked about, why they wanted Morgan. They wanted a spark on this team. He's not afraid to tell someone when they've done something right and when they've done something wrong.
Let me ask you this. If you're an offensive lineman, though, did Morgan cause that penalty by the continue to fade back and fade back and fade back? Here he goes on 1st and 20 now. Fires. This time he releases quickly, and he got it back and picked up some yardage on the play.
Yeah, you're exactly right. When Morgan gets unpredictable as a lineman, you don't know where your guy's going, and you have a tendency to hold trying to protect him. And sometimes you just got to throw the ball away and look for the next play.
52 seconds to go. Morgan again near the sideline, completes his pass. The receiver steps out of bounds after a nice gain. That is Fabian McCray on that one with a good squeeze of the football. And now we're going to back him up again. So we do have another flag down on the field. That is unfortunate for Jackson State because they had the great field position and they were on the move, but now they're moving the wrong way.
And again, mental errors, you got to finish. You got to finish. You got to maintain your intensity, maintain your focus. And again, that's something Jackson State says they got to constantly work on all the time. They should be trying to close out and close out the Golden Lions, but instead they're making mistakes, costing themselves. You can't beat yourself in a game like this.
Well, I will add this on to that comment because the one thing they've done today is they've overcome penalties. They've made penalties,
sure,
but they've overcome them with big plays. So, but that eventually catches up to you.
Yeah,
it usually does.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and they are talented, so they do find the way to overcome. But I'm talking from a coach's perspective. That's what they're after, and they're like, look, because you can't keep doing it. You can't always overcome. Right? It's just like every once in a while you get lucky. You can overcome some turnovers and you find a way to win. But at the end of the day, long term, you can't live like that. I cannot decipher that.
So we missed that explanation there. And the Tigers will have the football, and they're looking down, and they're looking at 19 yards again for a first down.
I'd say watch one of those receiver screens that they're going to do. They can get a good chunk, about 10 plays, and get to the sidelines, stop the clock. But I don't see them stacked, so it looks like they're not in position for that. But.
Yeah, they have 2 wideouts to the left, 2 wideouts to the right. Jacoby and Morgan at quarterback. Going to pitch it. Throws underneath, inside to his running back. Gets around the outside, has some room, and steps out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. That's J.D. Martin. And that's his first action in some time this year. So good to see him back and looking healthy and in the backfield and making a big contribution for the Tigers today. 27 seconds to go now. Morgan again going quickly. Has some time. Cocks it underneath again. A big hit, but a catch is made over there by number 19. That is Kobe Paul with a catch for the Jackson State Tigers.
Wow, Kobe Paul.
Now we have a timeout on the field with 20 seconds.
I thought for sure that ball was coming out. He was hit hard. Watch when this ball gets to him. And again, great timing by the defense. It's like bam. I mean, as soon as that ball gets there, but it's one of those things. You're going to get hit anyway. You might as well catch it, right? That's what coaches tell you. But it's easier to say than to do.
You hate to compare people and say this guy looks like this guy looks like whoever.
Yep.
But I'm going to say it anyway. Jacoby and Morgan, there's something about his delivery that reminds me of Vince Young. I got to see Vince Young in high school, got to see Vince Young at UT, got to see Vince Young with the Titans. There's something about his delivery that reminds me of Vince Young, about the way he's delivering the football. But he's delivering it right on the money right now.
He's getting more accurate as this game gets going, right? Earlier he was missing some high, missed a couple of good plays. He's been more accurate since then.
20 seconds to go in the ball game now. Passes underneath again. This time it's complete to Hagler, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So again, it's down to 14 seconds to go in the first half. Tigers are going to take it as far as they can. They're knocking on the door, though, right there. Time is obviously more important than the down. 2nd down and 4 to go, and we do have a whistle on the field and a timeout called by Arkansas Pine Bluff. And there you see head coach right there, Alonzo Hampton, on the sideline trying to pump up his defense and see if they could get in to the locker room trailing only 23-7.
I think what he's saying is, look, you got to keep him out of the end zone, right? You can't let him in. And again, it'll be interesting to see how they line up. And I would imagine the Tigers are probably going to think they're going to be backing up more. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of drag underneath in the middle right there and allow your player to make the play.
According to the scoreboard, both teams have 1 timeout remaining. So that's a good timeout to have in your back pocket if you're TC Taylor, in case you need to get the field goal unit out there.
I think you're going to see McCray, or you're going to see J.D. Martin possibly drag somewhere in the middle and let them see if they can't get in there.
2nd down. Morgan looking to the end zone, and he goes high, and his receiver was separating right there at the goal line, but the pass was too high for Kobe Paul.
Well, he went in the middle. I think Kobe Paul got probably grabbed a little bit. Looked like he got slowed down right there towards the end.
10 seconds to go now. So this ball will probably go into the end zone also on 3rd down.
Question now is, if they don't get it here, do they go for it on 4th and they kick it?
Well, and that's an interesting question to ask. Do you set up your field goal kicker for a kick, or do you take your shot in the end zone? You got time. 10 seconds to go. You're sitting on the timeout. 3rd down. Morgan for the end zone. Passes, and it's going to be incomplete. And he had what he wanted to have. He just didn't get enough on that football. He had the defensive back with his head turned, and he tried to get the ball to the receiver, but he just underthrew it a little bit.
Yeah, and quite honestly, his receiver, Tillian, actually helped him out by not doing something that allowed that defensive back to turn around, because if the DB would have turned around, that ball probably would have been right in his, easy for an interception, actually.
So Wasson will come on with 5 seconds to go to attempt the field goal. Good snap, good hold. Kick from Wasson is, wow, he missed it. Wide right would have to be. It was trying to hook back in. That just took a funny movement on that football.
I was going to say it hooked back in after the posts, it looks like. He had the action he wanted. It just didn't happen as fast.
Now the officials are having a meeting down on the field. There's something they're talking over here. But wow, that had a lot of bad English on that kick, or something going on. Oh, it called against the defense, decline. That's an interesting set of circumstances, because after the kick, time ran out on the clock. So we're at half. We'll see as they straighten out this situation.
Surely you wouldn't decline it if you're Jackson State. Yeah, fourth down.
Fourth down again.
Yeah, because they're going to play it on time down, I guess, and they're going to get another chance to kick it.
So some interesting going-ons here. And once again, it's another mistake by Arkansas Pine Bluff that may end up costing them some points. So Wasson will attempt the field goal again, and it's great to have a second chance, because you're in golf, that second guy is always the better guy. So we will see as Dylan Wasson has another attempt at the field goal. This time he hits it. It's up and through, and Jackson State will tack on 3 more. So the penalty by Arkansas Pine Bluff was costly. They had missed the field goal, and now he had an opportunity to put the points back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but the big opportunity for Golden Lions was getting that score, getting that touchdown for them. 10-play drive.
So they're on the board now. 26-7. Jackson State out in front. We're at the half, and we'll be right back with more. That's coming up.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro.
Sean, do you mean this one, the one with titanium? Switch to Verizon and get iPhone 15 Pro on them. Wow.
Get iPhone 15 Pro, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All 3 on us, only on Verizon.
Some people just know what road to take.
Turn left.
Not happening.
Take the next exit.
Don't think I will, disembodied voice.
Recalculating.
You're not from around here, so you don't know the back roads.
Those are the people who know safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Yes! Oh, I'm so excited. You got enough stuff in here to go camping for a week, right? We are not going camping for a week, are we?
No, we're not going camping for a week.
Okay.
But I do know a shortcut.
I don't know if we can make this. Don't you need an SUV for this?
Watch this. I got you, and Kona got me.
Okay, Hyundai.
I told you.
Do we really have to go hiking?
Girl, hiking is good for you.
Once you start something new at work, you just gotta keep it moving forward, right? Well, it's not that simple, because your work involves a lot of people and scattered tools. But there is a better way. Monday.com, the platform that unifies all parts of your work, so you can streamline the way you plan, manage, and track work. Because when everything is aligned, work really takes off. Learn more at Monday.com.
Natasha? Natasha? Is that how you say it? You look, wow. I mean, wow. 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 Thanks. It's Old Navy. Wow. What'd you say?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's with the sandwich names?
Oh, they're just nods to my time in the Army.
Oh, but what's the Steven named after?
Steven is from Navy Federal Credit Union. They've been helping with my finances since I enlisted. You want another Steven?
Keep them coming, Hannah.
Okay.
Maybe someday I could get a sandwich named after me. No.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Hungry Root is here, and I needed it because my fridge is super empty. I'm gonna open the box. That's the exciting part. Hungry Road came through, and my refrigerator is packed.
At Cracker Barrel, 'tis the season for holiday traditions and cinnamon rolls turned pie. Our cinnamon roll pie breakfast is warm, gooey, glazed, and starts at just $8.99. And try our turkey, crispy, country fried, and smothered with gravy. Only here for a limited time. Cracker Barrel. Take care now. Plus, share the home-style holiday cheer with Cracker Barrel Catering and welcome your guests while we do the rest.
Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids. Being in a hospital facing painful treatment takes away from the happiness of childhood. But that's where Starlight comes in. We provide
We are at halftime at Simmons Bank Field, and you can see Jackson State out in front 26-7, leading Arkansas Pine Bluff. Now, time to sit back, kick your feet up, and enjoy the marching musical machine of the Mid-South. Our M4 is presented by Pepsi and is your halftime entertainment. It's halftime, and Jackson State leads Arkansas Pine Bluff 26-7. Time now to check out some news and notes from around the SWAC to talk about. As you see the M4 wrapping up their show.
They don't want to sit down. They don't want to get in.
Here's your news and notes brought to you by GM today. And, of course, the big story in the SWAC this week, the conference headquarters, which is located in Birmingham, Alabama, was officially named the Dr. James Frank Building on Thursday. And there it is, a picture, and you see the name across the front as you go in. Dr. James Frank's building. He's honored for his great service to the SWAC, and you can see his picture right there. And it was a big, big ceremony today. That's the commissioner of the league, Dr. Charles McClellan. He was on hand. So was that guy, Stephen A. Smith from ESPN, there to celebrate the opening of the building. And there is Zelma Frank, Dr. James Frank's wife, who was also on hand. She's also a doctor for the big event, and a big event it was. And, of course, he served as the commissioner, the SWAC commissioner from 1983 to 1998. So great deal to have the building named after him.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. You can tell how big it is when the big people come out to celebrate and honor what he's done and brought to the conference.
To the conference, no doubt about it. SWAC Hall of Fame honorees here. The SWAC announced its 2023 Hall of Fame honorees, featuring Mississippi Valley State's Ashley Ambrose, remember him from the NFL, Grambling's Marie Curry, Alcorn's Isaac Hope, right there, the greatest show on turf, Isaac Holt. And how about Charles McClellan Sr., the father of the commissioner, Charles McClellan Jr. there.
That sounds familiar to me.
Yes, who had a basketball career at Jackson State, did a great job there. And also we see Gloucester Richardson. And how about Texas Southern's Eddie Davis? We all knew, everybody in and around the Houston area knew Eddie Davis. He's no longer with us, but it's great to see Eddie honored in the SWAC Hall of Fame as an honoree. So that was outstanding. And also the SWAC soccer tournament. For those who are interested, SWAC soccer tournament will be played on Thursday, November 2nd through Sunday, November 5th on the campus of Prairie View A&M. So that is very exciting about that. Get out there and watch the soccer tournament over at Prairie View if you can. SWAC News and Notes presented by GM today. Let's check out our scoreboard. A lot of action going on. So far, Mississippi Valley State, Alcorn, nothing there. They haven't kicked off yet, but how about at the half? Grambling leading Bethune-Cookman by only 7. Then it's Alabama State and Alabama A&M. The Magic City Classic, that's going to be war. 16-14 at the half. And then take a look at the scoreboard down there.
Yeah, you got Florida A&M over Prairie View A&M. And again, we talked earlier, if FAMU wins that game, Alabama A&M stays behind Alabama State. Florida A&M, FAMU will win the East. And then, of course, you got Texas Southern at Southern. Southern in the evening.
That's always a big game there.
You'll be primed up in Baton Rouge.
Yes, our SWAC scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi, and so is the slate of games which are coming up next week. As you can see, November 2nd, Mississippi Valley State takes on Bethune-Cookman. Florida A&M is at Alabama A&M. Southern at Alcorn State. UAPB taking on Prairie View A&M. And then our game, Texas Southern at Jackson State. And then we wrap up with Grambling versus Alabama State. What do you think about our game next week, Texas Southern versus Jackson State?
Yeah, no, I mean, Texas Southern is getting better and better, but again, they're going to have their hands full right there. I mean, no doubt about it.
Well, we're going to take another time out. We'll be back with some highlights and stats. That's coming up next. 26-7, Jackson State out in front. You are watching SWAC football presented by Pepsi. We're at the half. Jackson State leads Arkansas Pine Bluff 26-7 behind 3 touchdown passes from Jacoby and Morgan. We'll be right back with more. Stick around. We are just about set to get the action underway here in the third quarter. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas. 26-7, Jackson State out in front. It's a big first half for the Tigers behind 3 TD passes from Jacoby and Morgan, the transfer from Syracuse, but Jackson State will kick off to start the second half. Give me some of your thoughts on the first half, Jorge.
Well, you know, I think Morgan was fantastic. Certainly his best game. I mean, watching him, 16 of 22, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, he has been growing, and coaches said that's what they wanted to see. And then again, I thought that big touchdown from the Golden Lions was big right before the half. And
that was Donald Johnson there on the return. Takes it up to the 33-yard line. Let's take a look at those stats you were just talking about, and you can see when it gets down to total offense, 340 to 131.
Yeah, and I mean, the discrepancy is there. I mean, that's what it is. And again, time of possession isn't that big, but when you're a quick striker, it doesn't matter. But that 340, pounding on that defense, we'll see if the Golden Lions defense can hold up and not let this kid a runaway train. That's what you're looking for, and find some players that step up in hard times.
And also the third down conversions. Jackson State 5 of 9, but only 1 of 6 for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, and that's execution, and that's something that you'd expect of a team that's growing, and they've got guys creating culture, got new guys trying to see who does what, who'll step up, and that's just part of the Golden Lions' maturity of growing forward. So, I mean, I think it's something you kind of expected coming into this game. And again, the Tigers are in rare form, and they're a team prime.
And Jackson State will go on defense first as we get ready to start the second half. First play from scrimmage. And the give is to Kirsten Rogers around the left side. He's going to pick up a couple on the carry there. Chancellor Edwards came out as the starting quarterback to start the second half for Arkansas Pine Bluff. And, he in and out in the first half. Give me some of your thoughts about the job he did.
Well, I mean, he's got to have players step up. I thought there was a point there at the beginning. He was looked a little nervous, and then he kind of settled down, and then he kind of lost it a little bit again. And they're going to see if he can put it together in the second half.
So he throws underneath. Dawkins slips a tackler, still on his feet. How about that? Dawkins turned nothing into something right there, because Damon Dawkins did a great job of breaking that tackle.
But it starts off with Edwards putting the ball with him in motion. He doesn't have to stop. He can maintain that speed, but look at that. I mean, that was a tenacious hit. He just kept going and kept rolling.
Yeah, that's Peppers who missed him first, and you don't see Peppers miss anything in the backfield.
True.
So that's a first down right there for the Golden Lions. Damon Dawkins on the carry. This time Edwards throws it short again to Rogers, and Rogers slipped down. It's going to be a loss on the play. Maybe a loss of 3 yards as he just lost his footing and slipped down. In case you're just joining us, we did have a lot of rain during the pregame, so the field is probably still a little slick from some of that rain. So second and long now after that play, lost 2 yards. Edwards will look again and change the play this time. He has 2 receivers to his left, and he has 2 flanked out to the right. This time he turns and he gives to the running back, and there's room inside. And it looked like it was B.J. Curry who carried that time. So they're doing a good job of alternating the backs in and out now for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, the last time they ran a run play, it was more of a counter. This time they didn't counter. They just ran straight at it and had a good blocking up front, the point of attack. Got some good positive yards.
Third and about 9, it appears, coming up here. Pass down the sideline is deep, and boy, that was almost dropped it in a bucket. Wow, did you see that? The official whipped out the flag and then put it back in his pocket. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
And we may have an injured Golden Lion on the play. It looked like it was Kenji Lewis who was streaking down the sideline and then fell awkwardly.
Yeah, you don't want him injured. And look at this. I think it's because he steps out. And you see him, he's pulling it out, and then he goes, not so much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he saw, thought he saw, and then didn't see.
Isaias Guthrie on the coverage. And now we have a timeout on the field, so they're going to have to get that straightened out. That was interesting. So another player was shaken up on it, and that was the receiver, Kenji Lewis, who was streaking down the sideline, and he fell awkwardly.
Yeah, and you can't afford to lose Lewis. Lewis has been a big playmaker for him, and he's certainly probably the most dangerous guy, I believe, on their team right there. 4 catches, 35 yards. You can't afford to lose him. But now 4th and 4. Lions sending the offense back out there to go for it.
12:34 to go here in the third quarter, and they had some momentum right before the half. They moved the football, and Coach Alonzo Hampton here is trying to roll the dice here and see if we can keep this drive alive in the third quarter. So he has Johnson in at receiver. Pressure on the quarterback, throws underneath, has Johnson. Johnson's going to pick up the first down. as he steps out of bounds. So a good call by Coach Alonzo Hampton. And how about the move right there by Donald Johnson III, the transfer from Grambling?
Well, I'll tell you, my thought originally on that, when Johnson kind of came back a bit, I thought, man, you need to plant and go surge forward to get that first down.
But he's a kickoff returner.
Yeah.
So if he gets in space, those are the guys that can make it happen, and he made it happen on that play. So a big first down for the Golden Lions. Edwards turns, and he's going to pass it again to Johnson again. Johnson still on his feet. He's going to be pulled down at about the 20.
Yeah, a lot of motion in the backfield there, right? Fake the two running backs and then just pull the ball back and then throw it outside. That keeps the defense on its heels a bit. And Johnson does a nice job picking up some yardage. Watch, fake, and then throw. Johnson's pretty shifty, you're right.
Yeah, he's tough to get in space. When he's got space to work, he's a tough guy to get down. So 2nd and 4 coming up now for the Golden Lions. Rodgers in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it. Has a lot of room in front of him, still on his feet, and he's in for the touchdown. That is Mekhi Higgins on the keeper, who got snuck into the ball game at quarterback, and on the quarterback keeper there. That was a great play call. The motion away, and he ran back the opposite way, and it's a touchdown for Pine Bluff.
And again, the issue is you got Jackson State, who plays man up a lot, so you just run your receivers right on out of there, and your defenders are all looking at the receiver and backing up. You clear amazing space, and you're right, they snuck Higgins in there and then just ran that play for the touchdown.
And he made a great move on Jaheel Hazel to get in for the touchdown. Extra point is good, and so the first possession of the second half, Arkansas Pine Bluff turns it into points. Nice run by the quarterback, Mekhi Higgins, for the touchdown, 26-14.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
Coach Alcindor and Jorge Vargas here with you at Simmons Bank Stadium.
They just got
Simmons Bank Field, excuse me. And how about Arkansas Pine Bluff? 8 plays, 62 yards, and 3 minutes and 38 seconds before the quarterback ran it in for the touchdown.
It was deliberate and efficient.
It was. And they started the second half exactly the way they wanted, and here comes the kickoff to Jackson State, and the Tigers will return it from the 2-yard line. Big hole. And he's going to get it all the way up to the 35, and here comes the laundry. I mean, there are flags all over the place. If you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. So.
But there are 10 flags and 4 refs?
Well, there's a lot of linen out there, I'll tell you that. Either way you look at it.
How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think all 5 of them are interesting. Is there 5 or 6 to a crew? 6 to a crew, right?
What we do know is somebody wasn't very discreet because everybody saw it.
Blatant holding. An extra 5 yards for that.
So there's DJ Stevens, the big tight end, the All-American for Jackson State. He's having himself a whale of a ball game. 2 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he has a long of 70 yards. That came on the second play of the game as he took it to the house.
Yeah, what do you do? Well, I just catch 2 passes and I score twice. That's how I do it. I don't waste time. That's what he says. Some of those people catch 8, 9 catches. I just catch 2 and get to the house.
The penalty brought the Tigers back to the 12-yard line, and they go to Martin running around the right side, and he's going to pick up about 3 tough yards. Make it, call it 4 yards inside. Got a good spot on that, and they missed him. You know, he's a good running back, used to be a starting running back, injured his toe and was really struggling with that, and now with Irv Mulligan out, they really needed him today. So 2nd and 6. Morgan's going to keep it. No, he throws off the fake, and a good pass. It's completed for the first down for the Jackson State Tigers. That is number 9, Fabian McCray, on the catch and run for the first down.
McCray does a great job of just getting to the open spot when his quarterback's in trouble.
This time Morgan gives inside, and the running back bounces off a couple of would-be tacklers and just determined to pick up some extra yardage is Martin again. J.D. Martin, the 6'1", 195-pounder.
Yeah, Martin now over 100 yards for the day with receiving and catching, about 50-50. So he is certainly your well-rounded back out of the backfield, can catch it and do something with it, and also he has shown he's running really well, 54 yards on the ground.
Good change of pace guy. He's got the speed, but he's also got all the hesitation moves. So 2nd and 5. Pass near the sideline. It's going to be incomplete. He's trying to hit Fabian McCray over there, but good defense again by the Golden Lions. And now we have, let's see, we got the ball spotted. We're good. Thought it was a flag, but no, it wasn't a flag. So Morgan now will have a 3rd and 5 to work with. Laprel Boyd on the coverage on that previous play. And there was movement up front. No flag. Morgan pass. And it's going to be intercepted near the sideline. Morgan floated that ball, and it was picked off by the Golden Lions. So the Lions have already put 1 touchdown on the board. That's Kyrie Williams with the intercepted pass.
Yeah, and again, he had all the time in the world, and again, he tried to force this ball in there. Double coverage. You can't throw, you have to throw a perfect strike to get it within there. He just should have came off that ball or thrown it away.
Well, Laprel Boyd had him covered low. Kyrie Williams had him over the top, and Kyrie Williams comes up with the INT. The junior from Akron, Ohio. So the big turnover goes to Arkansas Pine Bluff, and they have the football for the 2nd time here in the second half, trailing 26-14.
Now, do you take that sudden change and you attack deep, or do you stay within your offense? We'll see.
We'll see. Chancellor Edwards comes back at quarterback. He's going to take a shot. Now he throws it underneath. It gets it cleared out for Rogers. Rogers still on his feet, spinning. How about that spin move?
The offense coordinator, Bobby Acosta, mixing things up a lot, doing a great job getting them down the field, scripted in the first part, and then he probably had a little bit of a script working for the second half of saying, here's how we're going to attack it, guys. Here's our adjustments. He's done a great job here now in the second half, and let's see if they can continue and close and finish.
Well, they've done a great job here in the second half, and once again, the Golden Lions are on the move again with the football resting at about the 46-yard line. Edwards in at quarterback. Looking underneath again, fires incomplete. He threw it behind Dawkins and in front of the other receiver, but a late flag comes in there, and something went on in the secondary.
I think Isaac Peppers hit him before when the ball was being thrown. He didn't give him an opportunity to catch that ball. That's what it appeared to me. Watch, the receiver gets right there, and he's hitting him. before he has a chance to go get that ball. I think that's where the flag is.
So a big bump by Isaac Peppers, but you know, every time you run a route in his zone, it's going to happen.
He's like, I may have gotten called on this one, but still, you know, when you come by the middle, you're going to say hello to number 13.
The big penalty because it gives the Golden Lions a first down with 8:46 to go here in the third quarter.
You know, we kind of joke about that, but there's no doubt that when you're a receiver and you're running patterns, you know where the big hitters are, and you can get some alligator arms really quick when you know they're around. Whoa,
now they're moving the football back in the opposite direction.
So maybe, I'm not sure what they called then.
So the Golden Lions will take over. Ball back on the 48-yard line. And they're going to signal the first down on the play. So they'll go 1st and 10 from there. The give is off, and it's going to be a pickup of about 6 as they go inside. A nice recovery there by that Jackson State defense. That was 35 Rogers again on the carry.
He's got some good moves.
He's getting an opportunity to carry the football today. Goes to Dawkins. Dawkins has been by. Ball comes out, and Dawkins got it back. You talk about getting a fortunate bounce. I was just about to say Dawkins has been making things happen for the Golden Lions here, and a big pop there, and the ball came out.
And again, this is what coaches worry about. I mean, you want your guys to make big plays, but look how that ball's kind of sitting on the outside. They talked about holding that ball tight into your chest, not towards the side, and that's where that ball came out. But fortunate enough for the Golden Lions to recover.
Anthony Petty with the big hit for the Tigers that jarred that ball loose. So that will set up a 3rd and short. Now 3rd and 1 coming up for the Golden Lions. And now the officials are going to walk in again and talk about something here, and they want to visit a little bit.
We'll do that on another time, right? Visit later. Where are we going to eat after the game? We don't need to do that right now, guys. You can take that up later.
It's a big first down coming up. You know that Alonzo Hampton would like to see his team convert this and continue this drive.
Like just a little spot of the ball issue.
We're ready to go now. 7:40 as the clock was restarted. Turn. He doesn't give it to Rogers. Throws to Johnson. And Johnson's going to have the first down. First down for the Golden Lions.
That was with a quick trigger there, right? He knew exactly where he was going to go with the ball. And Johnson did a good job of just getting right to the hole, sitting down, catching it.
So Johnson has been a big target. He's been the primary target so far here in the second half from Chancellor Edwards. And Edwards will throw again on first down. Wanted to go deep, and then he pulled it down, and you could tell. I thought it was fitting the way Coach Alonzo Hampton described it. He said, doesn't have the big arm, won't wow you with that arm, doesn't have the speed to wow you either, but he just makes things happen, and that's what we've seen today. So he steps out. Mekhi Hagan steps in now on 2nd and 8.
Look for Hagan to try to run here.
6:30 to go here in the third quarter. Puts Johnson in motion. And Hagans takes the hole, takes the run. He's got a lot of open spaces in front of him. He had one man to beat, and he might have taken that one to the house.
Didn't pile up. He still won't go down. Wow. He's like, I'll bring it. And again, they did the same thing. They cleared out. Acosta's definitely seen something he likes as far as clearing out, spread everyone out, and then let him get in there and bang away. And just and again, I noticed. I think the Tigers are going to have to get out of man and go to zone every time he's in there.
You know, if we have time, we're going to look at that again. If producer Tommy has time, but we will see as they pick it up on 1st and 10. There was a great block by Rogers on that play that opened the whole thing up for him. And you see Johnson in motion again, looking to throw back to Johnson. Got him in the open space. As Johnson still on his feet, gets around the outside, and then a late flag again after he picked up about 6 yards. And you see all the Tigers pointing back like it's against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Ooh, that's tough. They've got so much good rhythm in their offense right now going on. Get a flag there is tough.
Here's the plus 35 on the left there.
Oh, yeah, great job. And again, that opened the whole thing up. And again, that was on Peppers. And Peppers, he fights through any kind of blocks. But you're right. Not only did he engage him, he turned him just enough and held him up enough before he can recover.
Not a lot of running backs like to necessarily stick their nose in there unless you're talking about a fullback.
Correct.
That was a good block. So 1st and 10 now for the Golden Lions. We're down to 5:25 to go here in the third quarter. Higgins looks back over to the sidelines now.
And you see that penalty puts you at a 1st and 17, man. That is just tough for your offense. Look how tight the Tigers are. They're pushing up. They are challenging them right now.
There comes the blitz on the play. Higgins under pressure. He avoids it. The first wave, but the second wave got him. So he did a good job of escaping the first guys that got through there, but after that, he was wiped out on the second wave.
What the Tigers did said, okay, Higgins, you want to run? Let's run, right? And they just came at him. I mean, that was tough there. The Tigers just challenged him and said, we're on.
I think you're right, because up to that point, the quarterback rotation had been working really well here in the second half. They've been getting both of them to use their strengths. And now we have a 2nd and 15 to go for the Golden Lions. Looking up top, down toward the end zone, and it's a little too long. So Edwards took a shot, was trying to hit Derek White down the sidelines and just couldn't squeeze that football in there.
Yeah, and I think what White needed, it's easy to say, obviously, but you have to create some space between the sidelines and yourself, a place where your quarterback can put the ball. If you're running dead center on the sidelines, there's no extra room. And that defensive back is right on top of you, and he don't care about anything past the sidelines.
We've still got a lot of football to play, but this is one of the bigger plays of the second half right here. 3rd and 20, but they really need to get some points on the board. So Arkansas Pine Bluff, and the pass is into the backfield, and it's not going to go anywhere. A great play right there by number 39. That is Philip Webb, who made a great stop in the backfield for Jackson State.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, this is picturesque tackling right there. Grabs him by the waist, rides him down. He says, nuh-uh, not today, my friend.
That was Jamerson, who we really hadn't seen a lot of in this ball game, but he didn't even have a chance to get started because Philip Webb, the big 6'5", 265-pounder, he's a transfer from LSU, coming up with a big-time play there for the Tigers.
Yeah, and with that loss, it puts the Golden Lions really in a really odd predicament. I mean, 4th and 20.
Looks like they're going to go for it right now. That probably puts them out of field goal range, so I don't know that they have a choice. So we do have a timeout on the field, and they're going to talk about this and try to come up with another one of those special plays. And while they do that, we're going to go to break. Jackson State out in front, 26-14. Well, the Golden Lions have talked about it, and now they've sent the punting unit out onto the field. They were obviously considering whether or not they should go for that 4th down play, but they will punt it away to the Tigers. Jeremy Baker gets his kick high. The fair catch is made for, and Jackson State will start with the ball at about the 13-yard line. What do you think about quick? Well, actually, we're going to take a break. So I'll ask you that when we come back. 26-14. We'll be right back.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Tigers from Jackson State getting set to go on offense here with a 26-14 lead. We're down to 3:11 to go here in the third quarter. Jacoby and Morgan made a second start at quarterback today. And Jorge, I'm going to ask you in just a minute how you think he's doing so far. Morgan on the keeper here this time, and he has nowhere to go because he's trapped and pulled down in the backfield. A nice tackle right there by Rico Dozier, who actually came into this game with 83 tackles this year. But we were talking about Morgan. What are your impressions of him so far?
Well, he's certainly grown. He's gotten better. Early in the game in the first quarter, I thought he was a little bit inaccurate. It took a little while to make some decisions, but 17 of 25, 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's not a bad day.
Here comes the blitz. Dozier came again. They're coming after him, and he finds Hagler underneath. It was a good job by Morgan, not panicking, staying calm, cool, and collected under pressure. They did send the blitz that time, but he got it off, and it's going to be a nice gain on the play.
Yeah, but Morgan, in that case, he made the right decision, but there's been a couple of them, I was going to say a minute ago, too, is that he's almost too calm sometimes and figures he can get rid of it, and he's taken a couple of sacks that he just needs to get rid of the ball and say it's a bad play and get rid of it.
3rd and 4 coming up now for the Tigers. Morgan looking to throw again, has Hagler again, and this has been one of his best games, and that's just going to depend on where they spot it. Will they give him the forward progress? Look like they are, and it's going to be a first down for Jackson State. So he got the forward progress on the catch.
Hagler's a load.
Yeah, 6'4", 250, graduate student. I mentioned earlier he transferred in from Marshall, native of Sulphur, Louisiana. And it's a big first down for Jackson State, as they were in a big hole back there after that punt. And they go to the running game this time. It's Martin who spins, and he could not get away. Number 21 is Grant Ewell, who had a hand on that shoulder pads and kind of was able to spin him down.
But what Ewell Jr. did a really good job of, watch him, he just breaks down and makes him have to keep going right. He gets in that hip pocket and he just stays there. And that slowed him down. If he wasn't able to get that tackle, he had friends and family there helping him out with Rico Dozier right behind him.
It's a good thing to have. 2nd and 9. Morgan fires a strike complete to McCray. Fabian McCray is going to pick up another first down.
And that puts Morgan over 300 yards passing, which that's a pretty daggum good day. If you'd ask Coach, what would you want a 300-yard passer today, and he would have been extremely excited about that.
He would have been very happy about it. But T.C. Taylor really likes this guy. You know, you could see him just start to beam when you ask him about Morgan and the job he's done this year. They feel like he has so much potential to be even better than he's doing right now. So Morgan to pass again, to Hagler again. It's another completion. Call it good for 9 yards. Excuse me, that's Seven McGee on the catch out there. Seven McGee has been quiet today. We haven't heard a lot from him, but that's his first catch. And we do have an injured Golden Lion down on the field right at about the 50-yard line. And so there's a stop. That's what the stoppage of play on the field is about. It's about the injury. But yeah, Seven McGee is one of the guys that they usually, one of the main guys, and he's been pretty quiet today.
Yeah, he's a guy that's usually moving around quite a bit, and they give him the ball, and he does a lot of great things with it. But Stevens still the big dog right now at 95. But McCray, 5 catches, 84 yards, 16.8 a catch. That's a pretty good day by him.
Yeah, and we need to mention also Jackson State playing without a couple of their star players. Irv Mulligan out. He was in a walking boot earlier this week. Got it off, did a little jogging, but he wasn't ready to go yet. And Rico Powers also out for this game. And on the other side, Maurice Lloyd and Javon Williams not playing for Arkansas Pine Bluff. So it's that time of year where you're going to have people with some bumps and bruises.
Yeah, and you're trying to keep people healthy is always tough this time of year. But I will say this, watching J.D. Martin today, number 8 for the Tigers, he's been, you know, this may be the opening that he was looking for. And then I was expecting Moultrie to play a little bit better. He hasn't seemed to let it loose, but Martin has shown, you know, good rushing ability and also the way to catch the ball out of the backfield. So maybe the tandem of him and Mulligan, when they get back, that can be a new twist in their offense.
Well, let's call it 2nd and 1 now. As they reshuffled everything, it's going to be 2nd and 1 to go for the first down for Jackson State. We haven't seen Ahmad Miller much in this game, and he's been impressive also. And as we come now to the end of the 3rd quarter, as Morgan let the clock ticks down, that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Jackson State out in front, 26-14. But so far, that 3rd quarter, I guess if you were grading quarters, that one would go to Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, it sure would. They found a way to get things rolling, and we'll see if they can put together a 4th quarter like this.
We are all set to get the fourth quarter underway here. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas with you. And boy, so far Jackson State is led, but Arkansas Pine Bluff. How about this? Some razzle-dazzle. They tried the flea flicker. It didn't work, so Morgan's going to be caught. Nope, still on his feet and dropped.
Wow.
So they were trying to hit the big one. It wasn't there. Morgan pulled it down, and you got to credit Arkansas Pine Bluff with some fine defense on that play.
Oh, that's staying home, reading your keys, and doing exactly how the coaches got to love that. But what Morgan has to do there, hey, the play is covered. Throw it away. I mean, honestly, right? Either there's a running lane for you or not. Throw it away. When they go back and look at that, there's going to be several times in this game you're going to say, hey, Morgan, throw it away.
Yeah,
right?
Third downs, Jackson State 6 of 11, but Pine Bluff 1 of 8, so Jackson State's been pretty good on third down. This is a third and short, and they go to Martin. Martin slipped down, and he did not get it. He was going to get there easily, and he lost his footing in the backfield. He slipped down, and so the Arkansas Pine Bluff defense comes up with a big stop.
Yeah, that was a case of crazy legs, it looks like right here. Tried to make a move, and he slipped right on that turf right there. And you can see it's darker. It's been raining here, and he tried to make that cut, and his foot just slipped right from out underneath him. And I guarantee there's no one more frustrated than him after that play, because he's been running really well.
That may end up being a big play in this ball game, because he has been running well. He was coming to the outside, would have gotten it, but he slipped. And so the punt away by Matt Knoll is going to bounce and go out of bounds right around the 12-yard line. So that is where Pine Bluff will get the ball. 1st and 10 again. When we come back, the Golden Lions will have the football, and they'll be trying to put some points on the board.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
In case you weren't with us earlier, Leilani Armenta from Venice, California. Of course, she plays for Jackson State, became the first woman in the history of HBCU football to actually
get some points.
Get a point in a football game. How about that? She kicked an extra point in this game earlier today, so congratulations to her for that. That was outstanding. Leilani Armenta, who actually was the first woman to play in an HBCU SWAC game earlier this year when she kicked off, and today she kicked the extra point. So now we pick up Pine Bluff on offense, and it's Edwards going way downfield, and he had a guy. There was some contact there. So far, no flag. Wow, Damon Dawkins wanted the call, and here comes the flag. So Dawkins was asking for it. He couldn't understand where it wasn't thrown, but let's take another look.
Yeah, I think they caught him by his hip. Watch right when he dives back in for the ball. He grabs his hip right there, although that ball's a little bit away. Guthrie kind of grabbed him by that hip. I think that's a good call. Although,
they must have waved it off. Because we're back to live action, and they go to the run, do the Golden Lions. So that was a big play. You know, Dawkins may have stopped running on that play, and Edwards kind of led him, deep with that. But now we got a third down and about 5 yards to keep this drive going for the Golden Lions.
It's a big third down for sure. Because, they can get a drive going and get some points. This 26-14 game, there's time.
They were trying to have a pink out day, but all the rain before the game kind of washed all that stuff out. It was had a lot of stuff going on, and now you can have a timeout on the field to talk about things a little bit as you see both teams jogging over to the sideline. Give me some of your thoughts on Chancellor Edwards and the job he's done today. We talked a little bit about Morgan, but Edwards came in this game, second start of the year for Edwards.
Well, he had some inconsistencies earlier, but I think his decision making has actually been pretty solid. I think it's always hard. He alternates with Higgins, and you're going back and in and out. That's always tough to do. But he's 14 of 23 right now, 60% passing, that's certainly good. But again, just 78 yards passing, that's not what you want out of your quarterback. You need to find a way to get the ball down the field, and that's something you mentioned earlier, right? His arm strength's not particularly super exciting, so that means his decision-making has to be that much better, and he's got to pull the trigger quicker.
So a big 3rd and 5 for Chance Edwards and the Arkansas Pine Bluff offense, as they started in a big hole on this drive after the punt. Third and 5. Edwards down the sideline again, and that one's going to be incomplete. I'm surprised they didn't go back to that Donald Johnson underneath play and pick up the 5 yards and run with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think their big success has been guys on slants or on the move and just put it in front of them and let them make the first tackle or miss. That's when they had the run of having some good succession there, and they've just kind of gone away from that a little bit.
Well, they have, but now with the ball deep in their own territory, they will have to punt the football away, so they'll call on Jeremy Baker to come out and kick the football. Gets his kick away, had plenty of time, and he sends Seven McGee back to like his 31-yard line. And he gets back close to the 40, let's call it the 39 on the return for Jackson State. So we're 26-14. That was Miller on the return. We'll be back in just a minute. SWAC football on ESPN is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SWAC. Home Depot, proud sponsor of the SWAC, and by Nike. Tigers on the attack, and they give the ball to J.D. Martin, and he goes off tackle, picks up a couple before he's upended right there. And they go quickly to the line. Got 12 minutes to go in this ball game. Jackson State still clinging to that 26-14 lead. Morgan throws underneath, has Hagler. Hagler has probably had his best day as a Tiger so far. He's made several catches.
Yeah, and there have been tough yards, but he comes back and very physical once he gets the ball, but is making sure his, he's all hands catch. He's not letting it get to his body. And again, you can also see the Tigers slowing the pace, right? They're slowing this game down, letting the clock be their friend.
Yeah, and this is where Morgan can be such a valuable quarterback because of his running ability. Passes that one underneath, goes to the underneath guy, which is Kobe Paul.
Yeah, Morgan hasn't really used his wheels today. I mean, just 3 yards, 24 yards, but with sacks in there, just 3 yards. And again, I'm sure coach is quite happy with that. He doesn't want to have to rely on him running. And again, when he runs, it should be very strategic and is well designed.
1st and 10 now for the Tigers. And they go to Martin. Martin has a big hole. And he explodes through that hole for about 7, call it 8 yards. On the carry does J.D. Martin.
Yeah, he wants to make up for that little slip just moments ago. As a player, you remember that play you didn't make, and you try to make up for it.
This time, Morgan looking upstairs, has a man open underneath, and he couldn't quite hang on to it. Fabian McCray reached behind him, had to reach behind for the football, tried to bring it in, and the contact came at the exact same time from Kyle Knox, and in return, it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, but Kyle Knox, I'll tell you, when he looks at this tape, he's going to, man, I could have intercepted it. He's so busy trying to beat him up. That ball was hit him and bounced out. If Knox was going for the ball, he probably would have had an interception. But he dropped some pain on him instead.
Knox, maybe the best defensive back on this Arkansas Pine Bluff team, according to his coach. This time, Morgan on the keeper. And Morgan done a good job as he slides down just shy of the 30-yard line. And I guess that's what I was talking about. At this time of the game, we're just about under 10 minutes to go in the game. From what we've seen from him so far this year, he has excelled in those short yardage situations and the ability to run the football and keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and again, but kind of one of those things, now that you're the starter, the runs that you were making as a backup, they'd rather you not make those as a backup, as a starter.
So 9:43 to go, and pressure. Morgan down the sideline with a strike, and it's a touchdown into the end zone. Jacobian Morgan to Fabian McCray. McCray's 2nd touchdown of the year. Beautiful catch in the end zone. Great catch and throw.
That was a great throw, right on target, and that puts McCray over 100 yards receiving on that one. And watch, just right there in the bucket, McCray makes that adjustment right at the end to come back to the ball, and then he stands there and gives a little muscle flex at the end. Again, great catch by him. He was at 104 yards before that catch.
So Leilani Armenta back on again for her 2nd extra point attempt. This time it might have been, no, the guy almost blocked it, but it's good. She got it up and through. Good pressure on her, and hey, they've worked out a little celebration already.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
How about it? Her 2nd extra point of the game, 33-14, Jackson State. Welcome back, everyone. Arkansas Pine Bluff getting set to get the football after that last drive by the Jackson State Tigers. It culminated in a touchdown pass from Jacobian Morgan to Fabian McCray, 32 yards for that touchdown, and it gives them that 33-14 lead right now with the Tigers as Arkansas Pine Bluff takes over the football. So we saw a lot of celebrating going on that Jackson State sideline, and it's not so much about the game, it's just as much about their young kicker, Leilani Armenta, also, who's in and kicked her second extra point. And now we pick up the Golden Lions with the football, and here comes the pressure, and down goes the quarterback under the heat.
You know, talking about Leilani Armenta, you know, those things are just, you can feel when moments happen, right? It's a moment, it's something different. And again, to watch the whole team, you see all everybody involved in the organization. I mean, people who are passing out water, who are trainers and all that stuff, they're coming over to her, high-fiving her. The head coach is high-fiving. She made sure she caught her head. You know what I mean? Those type of things, it's a whole organization, it's a whole team. Brings people together because it's something special that's happening.
So Makai Higgins in at quarterback now. Looking at a 2nd and 15 after that loss. And that one is picked off by the Jackson State Tigers. How about that? Talk about how you break onto the football. A great interception over there. Looked like Jaheim Hazel, number 3, and that's who it was, with a great interception. He read that play all the way, broke on it, and made the pick.
Yeah, I was going to say they were going to try that little quick hitch, and then no hitch and go, and it was all go for defense there for sure. But again, that's just a great read, being aggressive. And again, that's one thing the Tigers are. I mean, you have to know this defense is aggressive from start to finish.
Well, it's just amazing, the big plays, and that's why we had that quote from TC earlier, where he tells his offensive team, you guys just need to relax. The guys on defense will give you extra opportunities, and you will have those extra opportunities to take advantage of. So they come around with the reverse this time in a fine defensive play. Arkansas Pine Bluff still fighting hard out there on defense.
Yeah, Sean Wilson, it looks like number 33, I believe he made the tackle, but it was a hard hit right on that. Looks like he hit the thigh, and it just spun his body around as he hit him.
Jonas Fortillon, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Jonas Fortillon on the carry for the Tigers from Jackson State.
Wilson's laying on the ground after that tackle, so they're going to attend to him and see how he is here.
This has been a tough physical game, and it started from the point. And as we see Jason Brown there on your screen, right there in the center, he's the former starting quarterback. Morgan moved into the position 2 weeks ago, and talking to Coach T.C. Taylor about it, he said, you know, Jason's been around a lot. I told him I just wanted to shake things up, to get a different spark, to try to give the team a spark. And he said he's such a veteran, he may not have liked it, but he understood what we were doing, and he's doing his job, and he's doing everything he can to help the Tigers win.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Maurice Harris said basically the same thing, and they go, how did you tell him? I just told him like it was. We need a spark. Here's where we go. He goes, you know, Brown wants to be a coach someday, so he understood. And he said he took it like he's supposed to, and great teammate, and we move forward.
And he's been cheering everybody on, which is what you love to see on your team. So 2nd and 7 now for the Tigers. They go to Martin. Martin has a huge hole, and he's finally tripped up right at about the 3-yard line. But he just exploded through that hole. He's shown a lot of quickness. That young man has fresh legs, and you can tell.
Yeah, he's finally feeling healthy and good, so he's trying to show the coaches, I'm a weapon. Let's plan some stuff for me. That's basically what he's showing them.
So now you can see things slowing down on the offensive end for Jackson State. You talked about that earlier. 3rd and 4 now. Morton looking into the end zone, and a miscommunication between he and his receiver, McCray, as Morgan thought he was going to the back flag, and McCray kind of squared it out. So that'll bring up a 4th down, a 2nd down now. 3rd down. Should be 3rd down. And now they've switched it as a 2nd down on the scoreboard, so 2nd and 4. as Morgan comes back at quarterback. And now we have a timeout on the field, and everybody wants to get this straight. As they're walking off, and that's the thing about Jackson State. You'll be rolling along in the game, and you saw Arkansas Pine Bluff take the football, go all the way down to score to start the third quarter. Looked like they had the momentum. They get a turnover, they come right back, and then they don't do anything with it. And just like you flip a light switch, Jackson State went bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and you know, Coach T.C. Taylor said when we just do our thing, this team's pretty special. We've got some really good athletes. We feel like we can out-athlete the players we're at. And Stevens, man, he's had a huge day today. Again, really just 2 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's all he does. If it's not worth a touchdown, he didn't want to touch it, apparently. Let's see if they go to him here, because it'd be a nice way to round out the 3 touchdowns on a day, huh?
Take the trifecta. They put the Miller in motion, and they give. No, the pass is to Miller, and there it is. DJ Stevens with the touchdown, the trifecta. He hits it. He's in for the touchdown.
We were just saying that, so I guess he gets him with a hat trick, I guess, if it's in hockey.
Yeah, Jacobian got me with the fake. That was a good fake.
It was.
Yeah.
And again, it faked you out, but that defense had to respect that and watch them. Just watch that defense right there. They all suck in, and then they go, oh. You can't really see the result there. But, yeah, I mean, just great job. Nice play riding into the last second, popping it over the top.
So 3 catches and 3 touchdowns. And now we have our Minta trying to get her 3rd extra point in the game. And this one is good also. So she got that one through the right side, right next to the uprights. And she's either picking up helmets, too, out there. Man, what a day. They're having fun with it. 40-14, Jackson State out in front. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. The last 7 minutes and 29 seconds. Well, it's been a rainy afternoon in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, but as you can see, Jackson State 40-14. It hasn't rained on the Tigers parade as yet in this ball game.
Tell you what, there's some road warriors. They've been on the road a lot this season.
They have.
And they talked about it. And they also said they found this comfort in being outside and being the guy fighting from the outside.
Yeah, you're right. Coach T.C. Taylor said he wished they could start playing better at home because they're doing so good on the road. And so here come the Golden Lions on the return, and is brought all the way back over the 30-yard line, maybe up to the 32-yard line. And a little pushing and shoving going on down there, but no harm, no foul. And now we will see, and it's Chancellor Edwards coming back in at quarterback. Chancellor Edwards, the 6'3", 205 sophomore.
Yeah, right here, they're just looking for some execution, right? At the end of the day, execute, right? We're going to call these plays, guys, execute it, run it. I mean, the game is certainly out of reach, unless, something really crazy happens. But execute, right? Run your plays, run them well. And then who can keep their head and keep their focus in a game like this?
Well, head coach Alonzo Hampton said it himself. Every game is a learning experience for his team, and they'll learn something out of today as they hand off to Rogers. Rogers around the right side is going to pick up 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, Jameel Hazel came in and made sure he wasn't going to go to the outside, made him turn him in, didn't really give him a lot to go at right there. So good defense. And that's the thing about the Tigers defense. Very disciplined. They play their positions. They hold their ground. Team tackling a ton.
Yeah, it's hard to find enough adjectives to describe the job they have done. I mean, they really get after people from the defensive end. I mean, and they have a lot of guys, a lot of talent on that defensive side of the football. And so the Pine Bluff Golden Lions on the attack again, and they're going to pick up the first down running the football.
That was just a well-timed play because the blitz was coming from that the offensive right side. It was coming right through the right side. They were running off the in between the guard and tackle on the left side. So it was a well-timed play against the blitz.
That's Rogers again. He's been impressive. He's gotten most of the totes here in the second half. 1st and 10 for the Golden Lions. We're down to 6 minutes to go in this ball game.
He's got 40 yards.
And he goes to Rogers again, and that's straight ahead for about 3. So Rogers is a big guy, 6 foot, 210 pounds, sophomore from Mobile. He's actually a running back when he came to Pine Bluff, and then they moved him to linebacker the first year, when Alonzo Hampton first got there. And then he said, hey, wait a minute, we got linebacker. They put him back at running back, and man, it's been a great move. Great move for him and for the team.
What would they be doing without him today? I can tell you that.
This time he's going to pass it, and it's behind his intended receiver, but the catch is made. Number 85 on the catch. That's Kevin English hauling that one in. Can you guess what Rogers' nickname is? Kind of fits his running style a little bit. Deuce. Deuce Rogers. Got a nice ring to it. 8 of 14 on 3rd downs for Jackson State, but that may be the biggest stat of the game. 1 for 9 in 3rd down conversions for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, that's not good for anybody.
So Deuce is caught and knocked down in the backfield. Antonio Doyle Jr. is back there with the kiss of death on that one.
Doyle Jr. having another good game as well as Peppers on the defensive side for Jackson State.
Yeah, Doyle, a transfer from Texas A&M, has 3.5 tackles for loss this year. Make it 4. He also has 3 sacks on the year. So you're right, he's off to a fine year for Jackson State.
Yeah, Peppers 10 tackles today, 3 for loss.
Always active. 4th down and 5 coming up now for Pine Bluff. Dumps underneath. That's going to be the first down to Johnson as he dives forward and rolls out of bounds. Donald Johnson III on the catch and run for the first down. He's a transfer from Grambling. We remembered him from Grambling. He was a return man at Grambling. Did a good job for the Tigers.
He's an electric player. You get him out in the open. He's done with the plays they put in for him this week have been really nice, and they've been kind of drag routes or moving him in and out, giving him some room to run.
It's another first down. And so Edwards on the roll to the right, and he's going to just step out of bounds. And he slid into the bench. Wow, he lost his footing. He slid into the bench, and then one of the defensive players also slid underneath the bench.
Wow.
Some of the dangers of a slick field.
True, but that's where right there, just throw it out. Just throw it out of bounds. Right, you basically ran to right where the sticks were anyway. Just throw it out.
Yeah, you saw DJ Stevens there with some great sportsmanship, tried to hold him up and avoid that big stick there on the bench.
Yeah, no, that's dangerous for sure.
So this crowd is still still into it. The crowd that's left, I mean, they're still into it a little bit.
I think they're cheering for the future. They're really seeing what's happening. Again, if you're not familiar with the Golden Lions, I mean, you can see that they're growing something here.
Yeah, and we were just talking during the break, just to let you guys at home in on our conversation during the break. I said, man, it'd be great to see this program as it improves, and you see 2 years from now and just see what has happened, because I don't know if I've talked to a more positive coach than Alonzo Hampton.
Right, and it's so funny to me that really culture matters, right? Character matters. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what you're about. It matters, and they're building a culture. They're having a certain way. They want certain kind of players with character that are going to play the right way. They're going to buy into what they're selling. Again, any great organization of any kind, it's about getting your team to buy into what you're doing so they can execute whatever that plan is. And again, right now, this is the buy-in. And again, in your worst days is where you find out where your teammates, either they're guys that will fight through anything or they're quitters, right? They'll quit on you. And you find a lot of that out in games like this.
Rolando Jones helped off the field there, and now it's time for us to check out our player of the game. Tonight's player of the game is presented by Gatorade. And guess what? It's number 15. You know him, Jacobian Morgan. I mean, he was a big factor today. Look at those numbers. 26 out of 36. 373 yards passing. 5 touchdowns. He did have the 1 pick, but the 5 touchdowns were really impressive. And you know what, Jorge? This was only his second start. And I think head coach T.C. Taylor is going to be ecstatic about what he saw today from his big quarterback.
Well, it's funny you say going to be. He is ecstatic. Right. He is ecstatic. I mean, 72% passing. That right there is special. And again, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 receivers he's thrown the ball to, right? So that means he's not just finding one guy and getting lucky. He is looking around, distributing the ball well.
Well, he was looking forward to seeing him pass the football today, because he felt like he may have missed a couple last week. May have been just a little off on a couple last week, but he was on target today. And, man, 373 yards. That's a couple of games.
Whew. Yeah, and again, I mean, pushing 400 yards, that's pretty daggone special right there.
So we have 1:37 on the field. We also have a timeout, as the two teams are going to visit for a little bit and kind of regroup. And but just to let you finish your thought on Pine Bluff, they're trying to build something there, and it's hard to build a football team overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time. But Alonzo Hampton is so positive. He feels like it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, I think the alumni feel that, right? I mean, it's one thing we got this new coach. What do you think about him? If you just walk around in his presence, anywhere in his sphere, you're going to feel it, and you're going to say, okay, this man is about it. And again, players, once they buy in, you got a couple of years, check it out, and then you'll see where they're at. I think they're going to have some success.
4th down and 13 now for the Golden Lions. And Edwards is going to be caught and thrown to the turf. as he goes down hard. That is number 98 on the stop for Jackson State.
Tyus Martin.
Tyus getting in there, making a big play. 6'4", 330-pound junior. Actually played a little bit at Colorado. Transferred in from Colorado, coming up with a big play.
He was the guy going the other way, right? And all the players moving around. That's his 4th tackle of the day.
Yeah, they had him coming and going over at Colorado. And so with the clock going down to the 1:10 mark, now it's started again. They're going to just take a knee, and this ball game is done. So, I mean, Jackson State had to be the favorite coming in, but this Arkansas Pine Bluff team played strong, and it was a competitive ball game.
Yeah. Again, the score won't really indicate it. People just glancing at the score, but there were certainly some positive things to look at. Again, they'll retool. They'll keep growing and then add to their talent level, and we'll see where it heads.
TC Taylor's team will improve to 6-3 overall, 4-2 in SWAC play though. So they're going to need some help though. If they're going to try to catch up with Florida A&M, they're going to need a lot of help.
Yeah, they sure are, because Florida A&M is a beast, right, for sure.
On the other side, as we tick down to the final seconds in this game, Arkansas Pine Bluff will improve to 1-7, 0-5 in SWAC play. And you see the 2 coaches there, 2 first-year coaches. How about that? That's an interesting thing. 2 young guys, first-year coaches.
TC Taylor, just, what I love about talking to him is that he loves it. He played at Jackson State, and he loves what's happening.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. It is over, 40-14. Jackson State is a winner. Let me get you to put a bow on this thing and kind of wrap it up a little bit.
Tigers are for real, right? I mean, they are the team we thought they were. They're a really good football team, getting better. They expect domination, and today they did just that. And again, as we've talked over and over, the Golden Lions are a team that's a program that's on the mend, and they're moving forward.
Thank you, my friend. Enjoyed it very much. So for Jorge Vargas and our entire team, you don't get to see the rest of them, but they're there and they're doing a great job. I'm Butch Alcindor saying so long from Pine Bluff, where the final score is 40-14, Jackson State